interrupt, but the Countess is here.
The Countess?
She wants to see you.
Oh, Milton, did you hear that? Stand up.
Mrs. Drysdale, I presume.
Oh, yes, your ladyship.
I am giving a party, and I wanted you to be the first to know about it.
What an honor.
Not only am I inviting the cream of Beverly Hills society, but Newport, Santa Barbara, Pasadena will be represented.
I have many friends there.
And, of course, members of the nobility will be jetting in from all over the continent.
Oh.
Lords and ladies, dukes and duchesses, perhaps a few princes, and a king and queen or two.
Oh.
And now, Mrs. Drysdale, we come to my guests of honor. Those people whom I consider to be the first family of Beverly Hills.
Oh, your ladyship, surely you don't mean the Drysdales?
I surely don't. I mean the Clampetts.
The Clampetts?
Your next-door neighbors.
Oh, those Clampetts. Oh, wonderful. They're my dearest friends.
Really? What a shame you're not invited to the party. Good day.
Oh, but, Countess, your ladyship, surely that's not your last word?
No, my last word is this. If you ever tamper with another drop of Granny's tonic, I shall buy Beverly Hills and exile the both of you.
Oh, but, your Countessship.
So that's what did it. She likes Granny's tonic.
Countess called me a fat frump. It's Milton's fault. If he'd taken action when I told him to, this tragedy could have been averted. Milton, you spineless jellyfish. Don't just sit there. Do something.
Yes, Margaret, I think I will. Something I should have done a long time ago.
Milton, that look. I don't like it.
Milton! What's happening?
He's paddling her.
Oh, there you are, Uncle Jed. Hey, listen, can I...
Ooh, hot diggity dirt. How come you're so all duded up?
Because I'm going for a ride.
All right, I'll get the truck.
No, never mind. Going with a neighbor in their car.
You all dressed up like that for Mr. Drysdale?
It ain't Mrs. Drysdale I'm going with.
Mrs. Drysdale?
Jethro, why don't you set up your granny's kettle so she can make another batch of tonic?
Well, Granny can't make no more tonic. She's done run out of yarbs and roots and berries and things.
Well, then you go get her some more.
Only place I can get more is back home. That'd take a week.
I'll say howdy for me while you're back there.
Uncle Jed, I'm commencing to figure something out. You don't want me around when that somebody comes to go riding with you. Oh, she is a woman. That's how come you're wearing your courting clothes and shaved your face and put that smelly slickum on your hair.
Jethro, I gotta admire your brain.
Why, thank you.
Now that I've admired it, get it out of here.
Jed's got a sweetheart. Uncle Jed's got a sweetheart. You got a sweetheart. Hey, if you marry up with the Countess, you gonna live in one of them castles, wear one of them tin suits, fight dragons with a sword, rescue them damsels in distress?
Every day and twice on Sundays. What in tarnation is that?
I don't know, but it's getting closer.
Jethro, come here.
Yeah, boy, Miss Jane called you.
I know, but she's got a kind of funny look in her eye.
Yeah, I've seen that look before.
Jethro, I said come here.
Jethro, you going or ain't you?
Unless you come with me.
I got my own problem. You find Granny and ask for some catnip tea.
I don't like catnip tea.
Not for you, for her. Quick about it. Here she comes. Oh, howdy there, soldier. I thought you was the Countess.
Her ladyship is waiting.
Well, reckon his manship is ready. You guard the Countess, do you?
No, sir. I drive her.
Driver?
Yes, sir. I have driven the Countess since childhood. 35 years.
Well, you better let up. It ain't hurt her none, but it sure got you looking old for 35.
Mr. Clampett, how handsome you look.
Excuse me, ma'am, but you ain't been on a tonic again, have you?
Oh, no, I've sworn off till the party. Now, where would you like to go?
Oh, ain't choicey. It's all the same to you, ma'am. Could we take out after him and bring him back?
Why, of course. Humphrey, catch those two immediately.
I'll do my best, your ladyship.
No, not on foot. We'll go in the car.
Thank you, ma'am.
Wonderful man, terribly devoted. You wouldn't believe how old he is.
I do find it hard, ma'am.
Now, don't cry, Tommy. I know you're hot in your woolly coat. Here's some nice cool water for you.
Ellie Mae, did you set up my kettle again?
Well, yes'm, Granny. You fixing to make up some more tonic for the Countess's party?
I'm afraid I can't, child. Ain't got no more yarbs. But as long as my kettle is set up and the firewood is ready, I'm gonna cook up a great big batch of chitlins for the winding. I reckon you best move there, little fella. The smoke from that fire is gonna blow right over here. And a little baby like you... Ellie Mae, what's this kitten been drinking?
Well, just a little water out of the cement pond, Granny.
Well, I'll be doggone.
What is it, Granny?
Dumping them 20 gallons of extra strong tonic in the pond has watered it down and made it just right for little critters and city folks. Melvin, must I go up there and humble myself to Granny?
No, you can have another paddling instead.
I'm going. So you brung help with you, huh? Well, come on. I'll take you both on.
No, Granny, we're not here to fight. Tell her, Margaret.
I'm here to eat crow. Well, you're out of luck, sister. I'm cooking chitlins.
Come on, Jethro.
Safe to get out?
Of course it is. We left Miss Jane 3 miles up the road.
Hope she don't get hold of no more tonic. I've never seen anything run as fast as that woman.
What hit you?
Shall we pursue them, sir?
No, running at 6 miles top speed probably took the edge off her.
Countess, do you mind having the party here instead of your house?
Granny, I've almost given up the notion of having a party at all. Mr. Clampett tells me that you have no more tonic.
Got a whole pond full of it. And it's been watered down and run through the filter so it's just right for city folks. Come on in, I'll show you.
Oh, what a magnificent spot for a party. We can have hundreds of guests.
And you've got the fountain of youth, too, just like you wanted. Folks can just pass by and fill their glasses. Looky here. Ain't that pretty? Here, Countess, try one. You too, old soldier.
Aye, your ladyship.
Oh, I think it will do you a world of good, Humphrey.
Thank you, your ladyship. You're most kind.
Don't call him an old soldier, Granny. He's just a little past 35.
To your husband, madam.
Which one?
The next one.
Oh, thank you, my dear Humphrey.
Oh, your ladyship.
I'm coming. This party life is too much for me up half the night.
Good morning, Granny. Good morning.
Granny, how can I ever thank you for last night? It was a dandy wedding.
The tonic flowed like water.
And to think that I was there in person when the Countess married her 6th husband.
Oh, by the way, the bride and groom up yet?
Ain't heard a peep out of them. Well, come on out to the kitchen and have some coffee.
Oh,
Good, thank you.
Good morning, dear friends.
fabulous wedding party.
Well, good morning, Countess. How's the groom this morning?
Wonderful. Simply wonderful.
The kitchen is this way, Countess. Where you going?
To the fountain of youth.
Yonder comes the groom, and your tonic has sure done wonders for him.
He's commencing to look 35. Great galloping bullfrogs. Where are you going in that city dude get-up?
Well, Granny, I told you Mr. Drysdale's fixing to build a new bank, and he invited me to the festivities.
And you're wearing them clothes as many barn raisins you been to?
Well, there'll be no barn raising, Granny.
Barn raising, bank raising, what's the difference? There's dirt to shovel, cement to mix, boards to be sawed and nailed up. You ruin them clothes.
Mr. Drysdale's the one that sent me these fancy duds. He wouldn't have done that if he expected me to work in them.
You mean you ain't gonna help your neighbor when he's got a building to raise?
Granny, I kind of think Mr. Drysdale's going to build...
Wilburn Drysdale. J.P. Morgan. Baron Rothschild. Wilburn Drysdale. Yes, it has that big moneyed sound. One day it will be Drysdale National Bank.
Well, where is J.D. Clampett? There is a financial wizard that I want to meet.
He'll be along any minute.
You're in for a surprise, John. To talk to him, you'd think he was a big old hillbilly who doesn't know the difference between a tax-free municipal bond and a Dow Jones stock average.
Ain't got long enough for long division. I don't want to keep Mr. Drysdale waiting.
Well, all I got to do is put the 10 into the 3 knots and figure out where the decimal goes.
Well, you figure it out and park here your $5 worth. If I ain't back by then, you ask the policeman to give you another ticket. Remember to say please and thank you. Folks appreciates good manners in the young.
Yes, sir.
Well, how about a toast to the new bank?
I'm for that.
To the Drysdale National... Oh, the new Commerce Bank.
Doggone it, Milburn, where is J.D. Clampett? I had hopes of getting some tips on the market from him before the stock exchange closes.
Me too. I want to ask him about grain futures.
Well, forget it, boys. J.D. Clampett knows nothing about the market. I do all his investing for him.
Don't you wish you were that smart?
I'll bet Clampett throws away better information than I pay my market analysts for.
We'll be right in the middle of a huge development. Compared to some of the new buildings, our bank will be quite small.
Hors d'oeuvres?
No, thank you.
No, thank you, ma'am.
Mr. Clampett, what was that again you were trying to buy in the market? I thought I'd tell my boss so he could get some.
Well, that's crawdad.
Crawdad?
Just common crawdad.
You can't get it in the market out here?
That's right. They don't seem to know about it yet. You tell your boss to buy all that he can get his hands on. He'll make himself a heap of money.
Thank you, I will.
Oh, that's great. Good, good.
Said New York?
Ned Lantini.
Give me that phone. Ned, this is John Lucas. Now listen very carefully. This is a real hot tip. I want you to buy crawdad. All you can get. That's right. Crawdad. So.
Knot into knot is knot. 5 into knot is knot. Knot into 5 is...
Head for home, Jethro.
Oh, our parking time ain't up yet.
Head for home anyway. I gotta get into working clothes, get some tools in his truck.
Well, what for?
I'm gonna help Mr. Drysdale build his bank.
Hey, is that going to be like barn raising back home?
Yep, Granny was right. Only it's gonna be bigger than any barn raising. There's gonna be 10,000 people pitch into this job.
10,000? 1,000 people?
That's what Uncle Jed told me.
I ain't never seen that many people in all my life.
Well, me neither.
Well, that's one of the reasons we come home first. It take you too long. Figured you wouldn't want to miss a sight like that.
But, Jed, ain't they just gonna get in each other's way?
There's a good chance of that, Granny, especially with the pitiful few tools they got. You load our tools on the truck, Jethro?
Oh, yes, sir, Uncle Jed.
Well, come on, let's get going.
Oh, wait a minute, Jed. Don't you think that...
We're just about ready to go on the air, Mr. Drysdale. Mr. Clampett isn't here yet. We can't start without him. Well, I'm afraid we'll have to. This is a direct broadcast, and my cue comes up in 30 seconds. All right. I'll stretch my speech.
What do you suppose happened to Clampett?
He's probably on the phone to his stockbroker.
Yeah, trying to find out who cornered the crawdad market.
Honored guests, citizens of Beverly Hills, ladies and gentlemen of Radioland. 210 years ago, our forefathers made their way west from Pasadena into what is now Beverly Hills. And they built the first crude 40 and 50 room mansions, some of which still stand. These brave people were seeking freedom in the wide open spaces. Homes.
Why ain't all you good-for-nothing loafers out here to help raise this bank?
We return you once again to our studio for another brief interlude of recorded music.
Hey, Granny, you know something? I've been all over this place, and they ain't got no victuals.
You hungry, Jethro?
Well, heck no.
Well, then stop worrying. When you get hungry, there's a whole pot full of grits and jowls on the truck.
Not no more. That's why I ain't hungry.
Hey, Paul, they want you to come over and get your picture took.
I don't care if I get my picture took, Ellie. I'll just sit here till they commence work.
Well, they better come in, for the sun's gonna set on them.
That's for sure. Ain't more than about 2 good working hours left.
Hey, Paul, there's commencing now. Look, Mr. Drysdale's going to shovel.
Mr. Drysdale is now putting a foot on the shovel and attempting to get the first spade of dirt, which seems to be a little tough to do.
Where their friends are scattering like young'uns right out of school.
The minute poor Mr. Drysdale back is turned. Well, we might as well go home, too.
Now, hold on. Mr. Drysdale finds out about this, it'll break his heart.
Well, what can we do, Paul?
We can put up his bank for him. That's what we can do.
Just us?
It'll get dark on us, Jed.
Full moon tonight. We can work right on through if we have to. Now, Jethro, you and me'll commence toting the lumber. Ellie Mae, you get the tools. Granny, you take your sharp stick and mark off a bank on the ground.
I ain't never marked off a bank.
It's the first time for everything. Now, come on, get busy.
Oh, good morning, Chief.
Good morning.
How did the groundbreaking ceremonies go?
Oh, a little chaotic, but the ground finally got broken.
It's going to be a beautiful structure.
Yes, I can't wait to see those steel...
Bigger, stouter building later on with maybe bricks and cement and all.
By golly, I may just take your advice.
Express truck is here.
Hot diggity dog! That means a package from home!
I thought it would never come.
I'll go help the fella unload it.
Jed, package from home is here.
Ellie Mae, package from home is here.
No, Skipper, package from home is here.
Hey, what are you doing that for, mister? It's the only way I can get your package off the truck. It must weigh a half a ton.
Thought you would sure don't know what he's missing.
That's a fact. Listen to them crawdads thrashing around in that creek water.
Boy, ain't Proud sure did send some lively ones.
There's 3 more pails of them in there.
We sure got a dandy stock of crawdads now.
You know, we ought to share some of these good things with our neighbors. Jethro, take this pail of crawdads over to the Drysdale.
Yes, sir.
Just a minute, Jethro. Now, Jed, I'm all for sharing with the Drysdales. But don't you think we ought to ask them to have a closed mouth as to where they got them? Or we'll be trampled with crawdad-starved city folks.
A bit of caution wouldn't hurt.
Yes, sir. Mr. Lucas, to see you, Chief.
Hi, John. Milburn. Listen, Milburn. Listen. You are Jed Clampett's closest friend and confidant. Now, you've got to put me next to that financial wizard.
You mean mouth me after us sharing our crawdads?
What happened, Jethro?
Well, Mr. and Mrs. Drysdale wasn't home, so I gave him the bucket and says, here's a dandy bunch of fresh crawdad. And he says, crawdad? And I says, yeah, no, fresh crawdad swimming around in creek water. But I says, Granny wants you to keep quiet about it. And he says, must be a crab. So I thropped him. Ain't nobody gonna call you that while I'm around.
Good for you. Now I'm gonna get the crawdads back and throp him.
I'll explain to Mr. Drysdale that you want it kept quiet. He'll understand.
Yes, I understand, Mr. Clampett. You're splitting your stock of crawdad with Mr. Drysdale, but you want him to keep it very hush-hush. Uh-huh. Right. 4 tin cans from Pearl. Yes. Keep the crawdads in creek water until needed.
My rheumatism medicine.
Granny, what you want with that much rheumatism medicine?
Send it back home to Pearl. You just read where the government men is shutting off the supply back home.
Well, Granny, that's right generous of you, but sending your white lightning back home might be sort of chancy.
The government men will never suspicion it in a milk can.
Well, what if somebody was to drop the can? Remember what happened when just one jug blew up on top of Skeeter Hill?
Yeah.
From then on, it was known as Happy Holler.
I see what you mean. Maybe I better figure out some way to jelly it.
Seems like a safer way to handle it. Well, how you coming with your crawdad figuring?
Uncle Jed, you know it's awful difficult to count these rascals the way they thrashing around in this creek water. Ow! Ow!
Creek water. Creek water. Who is it?
Fleming.
You sure you weren't followed?
Followed? Shh. John, what goes on?
Fleming, we may have stumbled onto the most important projects in the development of the nuclear-powered submarine.
You mean crawdad? Then you found out what it is.
I'm getting close. And no wonder it isn't listed on the stock exchange. It is a highly secret military project of enormous scope.
Really? How did you find out?
I didn't find out. I figured it out. Don't forget, I was in military intelligence during the war. What is a duck?
Duck? It's a bird that lives on land or water.
It is also a military vehicle that lives on land or water. What is a hound dog?
It's a hunting dog that tracks game.
It is also a military missile that tracks its game. That brings us to crawdad.
Well, there, you've got me.
To be absolutely sure, I looked it up. It is a crayfish.
Well, what is a crayfish?
An armored amphibious crustacean capable of maneuvering on land, through the water, or under the water along the bottom.
You mean that...
Unless I miss my guess, Jed Clampett has developed and is manufacturing an amphibious machine of fantastic capabilities.
And that's crawdad.
Does that mean anything to you?
Just crawdad printed vertically.
Well, to me, understanding military terminology, here is what it means. Classified reconnaissance and weapon-capable deep-sea amphibious dread. Wow. And look at this. This is one of the things that Clampett mentioned to Jane Hathaway on the phone this morning. Does that mean anything to you?
Nothing.
Well, now, to me, it means that experiments are being conducted on the ocean floor off Hawaii under the protection of the United States Navy.
4 tin cans from Pearl?
4 destroyers from Pearl Harbor.
John, this is big. Really big.
And we're going to be in on the ground floor.
Where does Clampett make these crawdads? Out here?
Oh, no, not that wily old fox. He's got a plant hidden somewhere way back in the hills. Place called Crickwater.
Crickwater?
Remember? That's something else that Clampett told Miss Hathaway this morning. Keep the crawdads in Crickwater until needed.
But where is it? I've never heard of it.
No one has. Mark my words. Find Crickwater and you'll find crawdads.
Well, there's no sign of a creek water anyplace.
It's one of those secret towns like Oak Ridge or Los Alamos. But someday it'll be more famous than both of them put together. That'll be the express driver. Who? Oh, I've been doing some checking. A very large package was delivered to the Clampetts this morning. Who is it?
Harry Ledge, Express Company.
Mr. Lucas?
Hey, what's the idea? What's going on? We just want to ask you some questions about a package you delivered this morning.
Oh, I'm sorry. I can't give up that kind of information to anybody but my employer. What did you want to know, boss?
Where did that package come from?
Package come from? Oh, I remember them saying it came from home, back in the hills.
Well, did they say what was in it?
Yeah, food.
Food? Obviously a cover-up. A man worth $40 million doesn't need a food package from home.
Did you hear the name Crawdad mentioned?
Yes, sir, I did.
How about Pearl?
Yeah, I remember them saying something about that, too. Listen, you fellas want me to go back up there and get some more information?
You think you could?
Well, that happens to be my real line of work, private investigating.
You're a detective?
Well, not yet. I don't have my own officer license, but I do a lot of studying. In fact, every day I practice following cars without them noticing me.
In an express truck?
It ain't easy. Listen, I gotta go back there to get another signature for my way bill. Besides, they invited me back there for supper.
He certainly has the entree.
Oh, I'll get you a real report. I got a photographic memory.
Okay. See what you can find out, Mr. Ledge.
Oh, thank you, sir. Oh, by the way, when I'm doing private investigating, I put an S on my name.
Ledges.
No, up front. Sledge. Harry Sledge. Just like Mike Hammer, except I'm more the brainy type. I use my head. Well, see you, fellas.
Do you know any details of the altercation, Chief?
No. According to my cook, Jethro took a poke at him for absolutely no reason.
Doesn't sound like Jethro. He's such a sweet boy.
Now, don't get emotional. We're here to ferret out the facts and place the blame squarely where it belongs, on my cook.
What makes you so sure?
Miss Hathaway, cooks I can get by the dozen. Depositors with $40 million are not so easy to come by.
It looks as though the Clampetts are receiving a large gift from someone.
If it's Hacker from the Merchant's Bank trying to steal their account, I'll...
Hi.
What is it, driver? What do you want? Do you have something for the Clampetts?
Well, as Mike Hammer would say, who's asking?
I am Milburn Drysdale.
Big deal.
See here, driver.
The name is Sledge. Harry Sledge.
Well, mind your manners, Sledge.
Button your lip. Beautiful.
You should be reported to your company.
I'm sorry, doll. I got carried away.
What are you delivering here?
Nothing. I just got to get a signature from one of the Clampetts.
Then take it around back to the tradesman's entrance.
Okay, Mac. See you later, gorgeous.
Impertinent fellow.
Yeah. Oh, you mean yes?
Howdy there, Miss Jane, Mr. Drysdale. Come right in. I hope you'll stay to supper. Granny's going to fix Crawdad. Quick as Jethro figures how many. He's adding, subtracting, multiplying, dividing, and beat the band.
Well, speaking of the lad, my cook tells me that Jethro is responsible for a slight altercation.
I wouldn't be surprised. That boy does every kind of ciphering there is.
Hi. Howdy.
You pert near made me drop this. And if I had, it would have blown us all to kingdom come.
What is that?
White light. You government man?
Oh, no. I'm from the Express Company. I brought your package from home, remember?
Oh, yeah. My eyes kind of misted up from the fumes. This is powerful stuff.
What is it?
Promise not to tell. It's my white lightning. I gotta figure out how to jelly it up to send it to Pearl.
Jethro?
Jethro, Your Uncle Jed's calling you.
Yeah, Granny.
Have you figured out how many crawdads we can take out of that creek water every day?
Not yet, Granny.
But I'm getting there.
Regular Einstein, that boy. Set a spell. I gotta get on with this experiment. The government's already put 3 men on the moon. They're liable to put more.
Mister. Don't be scared. He's just a kitten.
A kitten?
When I get done feeding him good, he'll be 4 times this big.
But the wildest is what the girl is up to. Oh, she has uncovered secrets of genetics that are unbelievable. Tell him about the kitten she developed.
This high.
Great Scott. Now, tell him about the white mouse.
This big.
I don't want to hear anymore. We've opened a door that should have been left closed.
I'm with you.
Gentlemen, as good, loyal Americans, I think we should take an oath that the secrets of Jed Clampett's awesome experiments will never leave this room.
I swear. Fellas, I'd just like to say one thing. It's a mighty good feeling to know that they're on our side.
Want me to wait here, Uncle Jed?
No, Jethro, come on up to Mr. Drysdale's office and say howdy to the folks.
Oh, yes, sir.
Reckon it's all right to leave the truck parked here?
Oh, yes, sir. We got a whole stack of parking tickets.
No, you. Them Beverly Hills policemen sure are generous.
That's a fact. Seems like every time we park here, they give us another ticket.
I reckon they want to keep us coming back. How many you got?
Well, there must be a dozen. Looky here. Here's a $2 one. This one's for $4. Here's a $5 one. We got a whole stack of these. $10, $15.
No, Jethro. We ought to share our good fortune with other folks. Now, I'll tell you what you do. See them bunch of cars parked up yonder?
Oh, yes, sir.
I want you to take them tickets and put one on every car.
I'll do it. I'll put it under the windshield wiper so the wind won't blow them away.
Good boy. And then meet me up in Mr. Drysdale's office.
Well, Uncle Ted, hadn't we ought to stick around so as they'll know who gave them the tickets?
No, Jethro. The joy is in the giving, not being thanked for it.
You know, Chief, there's something quite humorous about Jed Clampett owning the most exclusive dress shop in Beverly Hills.
Exclusive and expensive. I had to buy the house for Renee in order to acquire this business frontage for him.
It's a great investment.
The first of many that I'll be making for Mr. Clampett.
He is indeed fortunate to have you piloting a ship of finance into the harbor of security.
Harbor of security. Well, that's rather a well-turned phrase.
Thank you, Chief.
And standing at the mouth of that harbor, like a welcoming beacon, is the Commerce Bank of Beverly Hills.
A West Coast statue. I guess I did squeeze a bit harder than usual.
Jethro, would you like to sign as a witness?
Well, to tell you the truth, Mr. Drysdale, I didn't see her do it.
No, I meant witness your uncle's signature. Sign this copy, too, Mr. Clampett.
Your Uncle Chad is now what the government officially designates as a small businessman.
He's big as me. I can eat a turnip off of your head.
Ready, Miss Hathaway?
Jethro, I reckon you and me better go on home. You just caused Miss Jane to ruin another piece of paper.
You bought a store in Beverly Hills?
Well, strictly speaking, Mr. Drysdale done the buying, but we own it.
What kind of a store is it?
Well, it's a dress store.
The entire nation would want with that.
First off, it'll give us all something to keep us busy. And then I thought that Ellie working around a dress store, she might get interested in wearing dresses and acting more like a lady.
Ellie is a lady. She don't need no dress store.
Hey, Uncle Jed, please don't send me out to fetch Ellie no more. Fella can get killed.
What happened?
Well,
Ellie and her ape and her bobcat were sitting up in the top of this elm tree. So I climbed up to tell her to put on some shoes that we was going to town. Well, I got thrown 20 feet to the ground, jumped on, scratched, choked, pounded, and pretty near done in all together.
Well, an ape and a bobcat are pretty good fighters.
Yeah, well, that's why I was so mad. They just sit there in the elm tree and watched her whoop me. Whoa!
What do you think, Granny?
Well, I think we better get her washed up and down to the dress store.
What am I supposed to do down to the dress store, Pa?
Well, I figure first we'll all just look around and see what needs to be done. Then we'll pitch in and help wherever we can.
When Ma done her dressmaking, I used to oil the sewing machine. So did Petalisi.
Well, you offered to do that, Jethro.
Ellie Mae can shake out flour sacks and feed sacks and undo the seams so I can wash and iron it and make yard goods.
Well, now, Granny, this being a fancy Beverly Hills dress store, they probably got ready-made yard goods.
It's hard to beat good, stout feed sacks for house dresses if they ain't got too much filler in them.
This don't sound like much fun to me. Jethro, pull over to the curb. I'm gonna jump out and go back home.
Now, young lady, you sit right where you are. Where you ain't gonna feel much like sitting. Jethro, you drive on down to our dress store.
Yes, sir, Uncle Jed.
Here!
Oh, thank you.
Go easy, Granny. Looks like that gassed-up cider city folks are so fond of it.
Renee, come quickly.
What is it, Mrs. Langwell? Who are these people?
They look like welfare cases.
You go on up and have your fitting. Maurice and I'll deal with these trespassers. Who are you?
Oh, we's Clampets, ma'am. I'm Jed, it's Granny, Jethro, Ellie Mae.
Maurice, show these people the door.
Oh, no need to put him to that trouble, ma'am. We seen it when we come in. I don't blame you for being proud of it. It's pretty.
The whole place is pretty, Reenie. But you ought to dump this cider. It's done turned on you.
Well, what do you want? Why are you here?
Oh, pitch in and help any way we can.
Yeah, shake out feed sacks, undo the seams, and
wash and iron and stitch them together.
Oil the sewing machines and sweep up thread and stuff.
I can do most any kind of carpentry work and heavy toting.
Oh, I see you're looking for employment. Oh, well, I'm sorry, but I have no work of an unskilled nature. If you'll excuse me just a moment.
Do you wish me to telephone the police?
Oh, no. Above all, we must avoid a scene or any kind of notoriety. Just give them some coins and send them away.
I'm afraid we have no silver, madame.
Oh, dear. Don't they make some rather small paper money for such emergencies?
As small as $1.
Really? Do we have any?
I hardly think so.
Oh, I'm afraid they might become unpleasant if we send them away with nothing. I have it. The coffee machine in the back. That may have some coins in it. Go and see.
Will you be safe?
Oh, yes, they're obviously gentle people. Just poor. Maurice is going to see if he can find some money. We hardly ever have any cash.
Young'uns, you wait out front. I'm sorry business has been so bad, ma'am.
Well, no wonder. There ain't as much as a yard of goods or a spool of thread or a card of buttons for folks to buy.
Well, now, Granny, it takes money to lay in a stock, and she just told us she didn't have none.
Don't you worry, honey. Good times are on their way. Jed here just bought the whole building.
Yes, that's wonderful.
Oh, shucks, it wasn't nothing.
He's got 40 million.
Yes, of course.
Yeah, now, if there's anything you need, I hope you speak up.
Oh, I shall. I shall.
Madame Renee, I'm afraid this is all we were able to scrape together. 7 dimes and 2 nickels.
Oh, I'm embarrassed to say this is all we have, but I want you to take it and buy some food.
How much is it, Jed?
Only 80 cents.
Well, now, don't you be embarrassed, ma'am. You can buy a lot of food for that. Anything special you'd like us to get?
Well, something filling, I suppose.
We'll do it. Now, you keep your chin up. Come on, Granny.
Is your girl?
One of my girls, a model.
Your favorite, huh?
Yes, as a matter of fact, she is.
What'd you have to eat today, honey?
Well, a glass of tomato juice and some watercress. But don't tell Madame Renee. I'm not supposed to eat so much.
Ed Clampett, you can tell that banker Drysdale that he made a sorry business deal for you when he bought this place.
Granny.
Jethro, I got some ciphering for you. If a place takes in 80 cents a week, how long does it take to take in $500,000?
Well, I'll get a piece of chalk and go to ciphering on the sidewalk.
Never mind, Jethro. Granny, we gotta look on this as a chance to help people. Now look at Ellie Mae here, just busting with health. Think of that poor, scrawny little girl in there, all skin and bone.
You're right, Jed. And she's her favorite. I hate to think what the other girls look like.
Well, let's go out and get 'em a truckload of victuals.
With 80 cents.
We can afford to throw in some of our own. All the blessings have been showered on us.
Oh, I forgot to tell you, Uncle Jed. Found a $20 parking ticket on our truck.
See what I mean, Granny? Our cup is running over. Jethro, we'll slip it in with the victuals for Miss Renee. Come on, let's go.
The street's parked full of cars again.
He sure ain't trading at our store. That's a cinch.
Everybody grab some. We got a lot to tote in.
Tommy, dear, I'm afraid you're putting on weight. You better cut down on those seconds of watercress.
Yes, madame.
Ed, she ain't never gonna believe we got all this for 80 cents.
Well, we'll tell her we run into a special sale.
Howdy, Rainey, we's here.
You're back.
You didn't think we was going to run off with your 80 cents?
Done some shopping with it.
Run into a humdinger of a sale.
I told you good times was on the way.
Come on, young'uns, let's stow these victuals out back whilst Granny shows her the dry goods.
No, wait, stop.
Now, Renee, pride is all right, but it won't take the wrinkles out of your belly like taters and cabbage and side meat.
But I can't let you do this.
But, ma'am, I think you're starving young'uns.
Oh, I think I'm going to faint.
Here, take a snort of this. It'll get your blood to going.
Come on along, young'un, and you and your sisters get to peeling and cooking them spuds. First thing you know, you'll flesh-eyed like Ellie here.
I'll help you. What's your name?
Tommy?
Oh, excuse me, young feller. I thought you was a girl. You look a lot like your sister was here before.
Hey, Tommy, you better get out of those fancy pants. Folks is gonna think you're a sissy.
Beats that sour cider all holler, don't it? Drink up, honey. It'll make the world seem rosier right off.
Granny, can I see you a minute?
Excuse me.
These worse off than we thought, Granny. They ain't even got a kitchen out there. And no bedrooms at all, I can see.
Uncle Jed, Granny. Like it's too late to save this one. She's stiff as a board.
Come on, we gotta save the rest of them.
This'll do it of anything, Ken. Fetch her in, Jethro. There's still color in her cheeks.
Golly, ma'am. I don't know how to tell you how sorry I am.
Ah, bonjour, Madame Renée. Comment allez-vous? Madame? Madame!
By George, I think the old girl is stoned.
Monsieur Drysdale, mademoiselle.
Êtes-vous malade, madame?
Mais non. My shop was invaded by some strange-looking creatures.
Pink elephants? Purple dragons?
No, they... Ah! There they are.
But these are the Clampetts.
They're the new owners of your dress shop.
And he's taking over right now. Every one of them girls back there is coming to our house to get fattened up.
But I need them. I'm giving a fashion show at 5.
Now, you forget about it, Rainey. We'll mind the store and put on the show.
Mr. Clampett, may I have another snort? Sip of that delicious vintage?
Yes, ma'am. I'd go kind of easy, though. That stuff has got quite a jolt to it.
Is it Mom's?
No, ma'am. Granny.
Quiet, everybody. Now. Quieting down. Now, Miss Renee and her girls is taking a rest cure to get fattened up. But you was going to see the show that was promised to you. All right, Ellie Mae. Folks is a-waiting. Shake a leg out here.
By George, he makes a beautiful model.
That's it, honey. Strut real proud.
I taught her that walk and gave her those turns.
The turns might be yours, but those curves are her own.
Now, this is one of Renee's favorite dresses. What am I bid for this?
Bid? Is this an auction?
All right, ladies, let's hear a bid. $12.50. $12.50? Are you out of your cotton picking mind? Very well. 15. Sold for $15.
That's ridiculous.
Now, ladies, it's her money. If she wants to throw it away, that's her business. Next dress, Ellie. Looks like it was made out of a right nice piece of store-bought yard goods. What am I bid for this? $18.50. Sold and don't give her any more rheumatism medicine. All right, let's start the bidding on this dress. Do I hear $3? Now, here comes a real foot stomper. Now, June will be with us before you know it. And I reckon there's more than one of you women that has a daughter that you're looking to get shed up. By dingies, you put her in this when you bring her to that church, and you won't need no shotgun. Ain't that something? The goods under there is slicker than a toad's belly. And that's first-class cheesecloth on top, too. All right, let's hear it. What am I bid for this? I bid you hush up and give somebody else a chance. All right, now let's hear it. What am I bid for this wedding dress?
I'll pay any price if Jethro comes with it.
Sold to Miss Jane. And Jethro will come with it this evening.
Don't worry, Miss Jane. If he's got a date, I'll fetch it to you.
Show's over.
Well, Jethro, we sold every dress in the store. Have you ciphered up how much that amounts to?
Yes, sir. It comes to pretty near $50.
Why, that'll keep Renee and her girls in victuals for months.
Gives you a warm feeling to help folks in need, don't it?
Yes, sir, Pa.
Hey, Uncle Jed, look, there's another parking ticket on our truck.
Well, young'uns,
Jethro, did you go back to bed again? Now you get down here. It's pretty near daybreak.
I'm up, Granny.
You've been up twice before. Now, if you ain't dressed and down here in 5 minutes, you go without breakfast.
sure did sleep up appetite.
Hold on, boy. Wait a minute.
Oh, I'm sorry, Uncle Jed. Is these yours?
Them sugar pine shavings.
They sure do got more names for cereals.
Sugar pine shavings ain't one of them. Cornflakes is over there. Have them for breakfast.
Yes, sir. Them's my favorite.
Ellie Mae, ain't you up yet?
Yes, sir, Granny, I'm up. It ain't even daylight yet.
The lazy days of lolling around in bed until sunup is over. We own a store now, and we have to get into town to mind it.
Well, Granny, I don't hardly think the stores in Beverly Hills open this early. Why, especially at one of them fancy dress stores like the House of Renee.
When the Clampetts own a store, it's going to open at a decent hour, at the crack of dawn.
Listen, Granny.
You see, we'll change it from the House of Renee to the House of Granny.
That'll make her real proud.
Yeah, we'll surprise her with it.
Uncle Jed, after we get the sign put up, what's there going to be left for us to do around a woman's dress store?
Oh, we'll see. Generally speaking, there's a lot of chores connected with running a business. Laying in supplies, counting money, waiting on folks.
Miss Jane said advertising is real important now.
You mean like putting up signs?
Yes, sir. I could make a sign, carry it all over Beverly Hills saying, "Follow me to Granny's store."
The House of Granny.
Oh, yes, sir.
Jed Clampett, you making a slingshot at your age?
This ain't no slingshot, Granny.
What is it then?
Why?
'Cause I asked, that's why. Now you get over here and eat your cereal.
But, Granny, them sugar pine shavings, I ain't gonna eat them.
Well, then why did you fix yourself such a big helping?
Them's the shavings from Uncle Jed's whittling.
What's he whittling?
Why?
'Cause I want to know, that's a why. And one more sassy answer out of you and I'm gonna box your jaws for you.
Uncle Jed, don't you sit there grinning. Help me.
Boy, I didn't mean to sass you, Granny. What I'm whittling is a letter.
Why?
That's it. That's what I've been trying to say. Why?
You're raising your voice to me again, boy.
Well, sure, getting Ellie Mae dressed and fed and all, Jethro and me would take a quick run downtown, open up the store, lay a fire, and sweep out and things like that.
Yeah, I'll get some glue and stick Granny upside the wall.
What did you say?
The boy ain't really awake yet, Granny. Come on.
I'll wake him with a hickory stick. That's the trouble with the young'uns today. They ain't got took to the woodshed enough. Learn some respect for their elders. Spare the rod and spoil the child. Truest words ever spoken.
Looks to me like there ain't a soul stirring, Uncle Jed.
Yeah, I reckon we're getting a jump on these other storekeepers. Age to start early.
But if there's nobody out, who's gonna buy from us?
Well, it'll take a little while for folks to find out. Maybe we could have a early bird sale. Nickel or a dime off on every dress bought before 6 o'clock in the morning.
Yes, that'd bring them in.
Yeah, there's a good lesson for you, Jethro, for all young'uns. If you're willing to get up a little earlier, work a little harder, think a little smarter than the next fella, folks will take notice of you.
Yes, sir.
I reckon we can leave the house and just knock off the Renee.
Yes, sir.
Jethro, did we get keys to our store?
Not that I know of. Want me to bust it open?
Oh, I reckon I can pick this lock.
Uncle Jed, remember what you told me about getting up early and working harder and smarter so those folks will take notice?
Yeah?
Well, you sure enough was right. Somebody done took notice.
Yeah?
Yeah. Just turn around and look behind you.
Morning, Mr. Policeman.
Morning.
I was telling the boy here on the way over, you get an early enough start and you can get the jump on these Beverly Hills storekeepers.
Yes, sir, that's what he said.
Yeah, well, you got the jump on him, all right.
Thank you, thank you.
Now, both of you, turn around, put your hands up against that door, and lean forward.
Well, we don't want to bust it down. Jethro thought of that, but I told him I could pick the lock.
Just put your hands against the door like I told you.
Hey, the phone's ringing in there. I better get back to work on this lock.
That's the burglar alarm.
You mean somebody's trying to rob this store?
Yeah, wise guy.
Quick, Jethro, bust down the door or let's stop him.
Don't move! Joe!
Look, Mr. Policeman, I better explain something to you. We own this store.
Oh, sure you do. Sure you do. Yeah.
Joe, bring bracelets for these two. Bracelets?
No, thank you, Mr. Policeman. We sell dresses, but we don't wear jewelry.
Hurry up, Joe.
Ellie Mae! Any sign of Jethro?
Not yet, Granny.
Probably lollygagging someplace. I should have hit-resticked that boy this morning. He was asking for it, and I should have given it to him.
Granny, maybe there's so many customers down to the store that Pa couldn't spare Jethro to come and get us.
Can't sell anything until we bring these things in.
Granny, you ain't fixing to sell my dress ain't pearl made for me.
No, Ellie Mae. We's gonna put this outside the store to draw the women in.
Oh, hanging on one of them there dummies.
Yeah. Where is that boy? Hello? Jethro? Where are you lollygagging at? Well, you just get yourself out of that jail. Jail?
Uncle Jed and me got arrested by the police.
Is both of you in jail? Who's minding the store?
Well, nobody, Granny. Gee whiz, I just told you we got arrested. A policeman pulled a gun on us and brought us here to jail. Now, heck, fire!
Jethro, give me that phone before I get my arm tore off.
Arm tore off? Ellie, fetch our guns. The police are torturing your paw. Hold on, Jed. We'll be right down to help you.
No, Granny. Now listen careful, because we's only allowed to make one telephone call. Get a hold of Mr. Drysdale and tell him we's in jail. He'll know what to do. Now hurry, Granny.
Ellie, run next door and tell Mr. Drysdale to get your paw out of jail. Quick.
Well, it's quicker to phone, Granny.
No. Your pa says we's only allowed one telephone call and they've done made it. Now scoot.
Mr. Drysdale! Mr. Drysdale, it's me, Ellie Mae. The police arrested Paul. They got him and Jethro in jail. Quick, Mr. Drysdale. Granny says hurry.
You tell Granny I'll be right over.
What was it again they arrested you for, Mr. Drysdale?
Indecent exposure, creating a public disturbance, drunken disorderly, resisting arrest.
You sure got us beat by a country mile. Best we could do was breaking and entering.
Now, we don't rightly deserve that. We didn't break nothing, and we didn't get a chance to enter.
Hello, mornings for Miss Hathaway to be out bird watching.
Doing what?
Bird watching.
Why, is they up to something?
Well, we may as well relax till she gets here.
You say you can identify these characters?
Indeed I can. They are three of Beverly Hills' most distinguished citizens, a bank president and two multi-millionaires. Release them immediately.
Here, blow this up. Then I want to see you walk that crack in the floor.
Now see.
And what have you got in that canteen?
Celery juice.
Oh, boy. You winos will make it out of anything.
Miss Hathaway, call my lawyer.
How's that look to you, Miss Storekeeper?
Dandy, Jed. I always did want to run a store.
Yeah, I know, Granny.
Gives you a chance to meet folks, chew the fat with them, and get acquainted.
Yeah, ain't nobody got a better chance to talk to people than a storekeeper. Unless it's a barber.
Old Luke Short had the right idea. He had a barber chair right in his store.
Granny, if you want a barber chair in your store, we'll put one in for you.
Hey, Granny, I got the barrel of pickles, the barrel of crackers, the pot-belly stove, the checkerboard, and all the other stuff you wanted on the truck yonder.
Damn you, Jethro. There ain't nothing like a free dip into the pickle barrel and a friendly game of checkers beside the stove to get a customer to feeling good. Come on inside and help me decide where to put everything.
Jethro. We might be putting in a barber chair, too.
Well, hot diggity dog. We sure gonna give this store some class.
Granny, I put my extra fancy dress on the dummy. You want me to tote it out front like you said?
No, Ellie. It's so doggone pretty, I'm scared somebody might walk off with it.
Jethro, run out and find some stovepipe.
Yes, sir, Uncle Jed.
Granny, seeing as how this is the only chimney, I reckon we best put the stove here. We can run a pipe over and join it into the floor right about there.
All right, Ned. She don't fill this dress out proper. Tote her out to the back room and you put it on.
Yes, Granny.
Bonjour, mademoiselle. What have we here?
Well, that's a dress.
We are selling this?
Oh, no, this ain't for sale.
Oh, thank goodness.
I feel the same way.
Well, if it ain't Morris, the door opener.
Maurice. Bonjour, madame.
Well, Mr. Bonjour, why weren't you here to open the door this morning?
But the house of Ronnie never opens its doors before 11.
The house of Granny does.
The house of Granny? Where is Madame Renee?
I heard tell that she took off for France. We's running the store now.
Quel dommage. Does this mean that my employment is terminated?
No, it means you're fired.
Fired?
If you had been on the job at a decent hour this morning, Jed and Jethro wouldn't have got arrested. Besides, we don't need no door opener.
Now, hold on. Granny, we ain't looking to throw nobody out of work.
Work? You call what he does work? Bowing and scraping and opening up that flimsy glass door?
Well, maybe we can find him something more useful to do. He might like that himself.
How are you at cutting hair?
Qu'est-ce que c'est hard?
What'd he say, Jed?
I ain't sure, but I don't think he does it.
Well, how are you on checkers?
Qu'est-ce que c'est checkers?
Well, maybe he's got some ideas of his own. Man always does better when he's doing work of his own choosing. Anything you'd special like to do?
Oh, monsieur, if you are serious, I will run home and get my sketches and designs. You see, all my life I have wanted to be a couturier.
There you are, Granny, you see? Man wants to couture.
What's that?
Well, let him show us. All right, young fella, go right ahead and commence coutouring.
Oh, monsieur, merci beaucoup.
Granny, if that's coutouring, he's going back to opening doors.
Look, Chief, they've changed it from the house of Renee to the house of Granny.
So what? We'll just get fancier letters made and spell it Granee, the house of Grenade. Women will eat it up.
But we haven't seen what they've done to the interior.
Well, there it is. Look for yourself. Absolutely unchanged. Still the most beautiful dress shop in Beverly Hills.
But there's still another problem. Without the couturier to design dresses, what will they sell?
Bubble gum if it makes them happy.
Chief, they'll lose money.
Great. The bigger the loss, the bigger the tax write-off. Now get rid of that long face. When we see the Clampetts, we're going to be smiling.
Chief, you're not smiling.
I'll be all right. I have to keep reminding myself that only two things are important. A, keep the Clampetts happy. B, it's all a tax write-off.
Granny! Mr. Clampett, anyone here? Oh.
Well, our first customers.
Didn't hear you come in.
Jed, we gotta build that front door.
Yeah, I'll attend to that first thing.
Well, how do you like the store since we friendlied it up?
Well, it's a tax write-off. I mean,
It's a friendly store.
exactly. Are you happy?
You betcha.
Granny is happy as a gopher in soft dirt.
Granny, are these the dresses you're going to sell?
Now, let's not talk business right off. Set a spell. Grab yourself a pickle or a fistful of crackers while we visit.
Oh, no, listen, I'm not hungry. We just finished lunch.
Well, then hop into the barber chair. I'll heat up the curling iron and give you a Marcel while we talk.
No, as a matter of fact, I have to be going.
Well, it won't take a minute to heat up the curling iron. You'd look mighty pretty with a Marcel whilst we visit.
Well, as a matter of fact, with Mr. Drysdale here, I have to get back and watch The Office.
Oh, so he can stay and visit.
Exactly. Don't say anything.
No, don't say it.
It's a beauty, all right.
Something Granny always wanted, a store with a barber chair.
Jed, fetch over the checkerboard. You and Mr. Drysdale can have 8 or 10 good hot games while I cut his hair.
What? Now, wait a minute.
It'll give the 3 of us a good chance to visit.
Ain't nothing like a barber chair for jawing over the news. I'll get the boat.
Granny, there's nothing I'd rather do than play checkers, get my hair cut, and discuss the news, but Miss Hathaway and I can't be gone too long at the same time, so I'll just rush back and let her stay, eh?
She done went back so you could stay.
No.
Wonderful girl. Now, stay back. I'm gonna throw in a free shave.
Well, no, Mr. Drysdale is attending the opening of a new store. It's the House of Grenade. Yes, I'll tell him when he gets back.
He's back. And it's the House of Horrors.
What happened?
You ran out on me, that's what happened. Now get over there and do your duty.
Duty?
You heard me. You eat those pickles. You munch those crackers. You play those checkers. And you chew that fat. And do it now.
Jed, we ain't doing no business.
Have a little patience, Granny. I got a feeling it's going to pick up right away.
Madame,
Sir?
is I, Maurice.
Oh, I didn't recognize you out of uniform. You're no longer the doorman at the House of Renee?
No, madame. I'm now the couturier for the House of Granny.
Where is that?
Right here.
Oh, and Madame Renee?
Return to Paris.
Oh, dear. And I need a complete wardrobe for a world cruise, and quickly.
Madame, I have designed just such a wardrobe. And it could only be worn by a woman of your beauty, charm, and bearing.
You have some sketches to show me?
In my car, madame. If you will step inside and have some champagne, I shall return immediately.
Jed, Ellie, we got one. We got a customer. What's your name, honey? Oh, it don't make no difference anyway. This here is my son-in-law, Jed Clampett.
Howdy, ma'am.
This is his daughter, Ellie. Ain't that a pretty dress? That's the kind of work we turn out here. Not talk business yet. Here, drop your meat hook in here and grab hold of a pickle.
Oh, no, please.
What's the matter? Ain't your gloves clean? Well, I'll do it for you. Ooh-wee. I got you a big one. Well, here you are, honey. Go on over here and grab a fistful of crackers.
Oh, no, really. Oh, thank heaven, you're back. Oh.
Qu'est-ce que c'est que cela?
Is this your mister? Nice-looking husband you got here.
Excusez-moi, avec moi, madame.
That was Morris, the door opener.
Oh, he's taking up couture.
What's that?
Well, he was doing a little of it there as he led her away.
And blame it, I still ain't got nobody to chew the fat with.
Greetings, all.
Mr. Jane, here, have a pickle, have some crackers, play some checkers, sit in the barber chair.
This quitclaim deed is ready for your signature, Mr. Clampett. Mighty generous thing you're doing, giving the shop away scot-free.
Oh, I reckon everybody's gonna be happier. Granny says Beverly Hills ain't no place to run a store. Folks just ain't the visiting kind.
By the way, where is Granny? I saw her on the truck when you drove up.
Oh, Jethro took her over by the store. She forgot something.
Thanks for keeping my curling iron, Morris. Dandy sign.
You have made me very happy, madame. And please express my gratitude to Mr. Clampett.
I'll do it. I'm going to see him right now.
Miss Hathaway, would you come in and witness the signing away of the House of Granny?
With pleasure.
Fine, Doc. long as Mr. Drysdale, you gotta admit, Granny did give a mighty stylish hairdo.
Presentation.
Grabber and Holder, Jethro.
Yes, sir, Uncle Jed.
Jethro, I didn't mean Granny.
Oh, I'm sorry. You hollered hold her, and she was the only herder here to hold.
Let me catch her. I'm gonna kick and break that young'un if it's the last thing I ever do.
All right, Jethro, you go through the pantry. Granny, you go around back. I'll circle the house and see she don't get out the front door.
Hurry, Skip. Unlock the door.
That's it, Skip. Attaboy. Come on, Skip. Turn the key.
I got you trapped now.
Right, Skip?
Jethro, grab her and hold her. Ellie Mae got away, thanks to you, Jethro.
Yeah, you're welcome, Uncle Jed, but I pretty near lost my leg doing it.
She made it to the big tree, Jed.
Jethro, how about shinnying up that tree and getting her down?
I'd sooner jump into a swamp full of gators.
This ain't no time for swimming. Now get on that tree.
I'm too young to die, Granny.
Granny, the boy has been thrown out of that tree a couple of times on his head.
It ain't just that I got to fight Ellie up there in that treetop. She'll have her bobcat up there to help her. A raccoon and her possum and no telling what all.
There goes a little ape to join her side.
Son of a gun can hang on with one hand and hit you with three.
All right, you big fraidy cat. I'll go get her myself.
No, Granny, Jethro and me'll handle it. You just stick around the bottom of the tree and see that no more critters joins up with her. Come on, Jethro.
Remember what you promised me, Uncle Jed?
Yeah, boy, put down your end and run.
Where's Jethro? I'm gonna beat him up. You ain't gonna beat nothing but a great big batch of biscuit dough. Now you get busy and make your pa a nice pan of hot biscuits.
You want hot biscuits, Pa?
Well, it ain't that, Ellie. It's just that we figure you ought to be able to bake biscuits for your husband.
Well, I ain't got no husband.
Well, we're hoping all that'll change. You see, here in Beverly Hills, the girl's got a chance to marry up with a handsome movie star.
Yeah, like Tom Mix or Hoop Gibson.
Well, Granny, I hear tell that they got some new ones. Miss Jane was talking about a fellow named Cary Grant.
Grant?
I don't think he's any relation. Now, Ellie Mae, supposing you was to marry up with Cary Grant, and old Cary looked up from the supper table and he says, Ellie Mae, honey, I'm just a-honing and a-pining for some hot biscuits to sop up my red-eye gravy. What would you say to that?
I'd tell him to make his own biscuits the same way he made the gravy, because I can't make that neither.
Ted, holler to the stove. I'm gonna learn her to make hot biscuits and red-eye gravy before Cary Grant comes a-courting.
Last time I'm gonna do this for you, Uncle Jed. A fella can take only so much punishment.
Ellie Mae, looks to me like you might be fixing to make biscuits.
I reckon so, Paul. Flabbermilk biscuits, light as feathers. Did you put in the soda and the baking powder, Ellie?
All there was.
All there was? Why, that was a 2-pound can of baking powder.
I don't want to worry nobody, but that clump of dough just took a deep breath.
He's feeling it, says it's baking powder.
Look here, Pa, it's grabbing for you.
What do we do, Granny?
Well, we got two choices. We can either stay here and fight it or get out and give it the kitchen.
I'd say let's fight.
What do you want to do, Jed?
Well, I'm kind of in favor of getting out of here.
Well, that gives me the deciding vote. Now, let's see.
I kind of think we're going to have to find another way to get Ellie ready for court.
Not me! Well, before we do anything, we gotta catch her, she's headed right for the Drysdales.
Well, come on. Jethro!
Why, Mr. Clampett, I would be honored to do a favor for you, any favor. It was you who gave me the opportunity to become a couturier. It was you who gave me this magnificent salon. Oh, vous êtes formidable. Vous êtes très généreux. Vous êtes un grand gentilhomme. Vous êtes...
Now, Morris, before you say too much, maybe you first better hear the favor I'm asking.
Commandez-moi.
Well,
Ask me anything.
Oh, well, it's about my daughter, Ellie Mae.
Ah, Ellie Mae. Très ravissante.
Yeah. Well,
Your daughter is beautiful.
Oh, yeah, kind of high-spirited, though. Matter of fact, Granny has given up the idea of kitchen breaking her. We figure we're going to have to get her husband city style.
City style?
Yeah, with good looks, polite manners, and pretty clothes.
And you want me to provide the clothes?
And the manners, too, I reckon.
Bring her in. I will begin immediately.
You sure it ain't asking too much?
My pleasure, Mr. Clampett.
All right. Jethro! Granny! Bring her in! You best stand back, Morris. She's a mite snappish when she's first unwrapped. You sitting on a feather or something?
No, sir, Uncle Jed. I'm just thinking about what that dress shop is going to look like when Ellie Mae gets done bouncing that Frenchman off the wall. She's going to turn that dude every way but loose.
Now, Ellie Mae don't balk at wearing pretty dresses. She done herself right proud in that style show, didn't she, Granny?
Yeah, but I still say we should have hobbled her to the stove and learned her to cook. It ain't fitting for a girl to get married if she can't cook.
Well, I was talking to Morris about that. He says cooking ain't too important. Especially if Ellie was to marry up with a big movie star like Cary Grant.
That don't make sense. You mean to tell me if Cary Grant comes home at night after working hard riding and roping and fighting them rustlers that he ain't gonna be hungry?
Well, now, Morris says that some of them big movie stars hire folks to do nothing but fix vittles.
Go on. Full-time hired hand just to cook for him? Are those folks made of money?
Well, a big star like Cary Grant must make a tolerable living.
Hey, Uncle Jed, you know something? I think I'm going to be a movie star instead of a scientist or a brain surgeon. I'd sure like to have somebody cooking for me full-time.
What do you think I do?
Well, Jethro, if your cousin Ellie Mae marries up with Cary Grant, maybe he'll learn you the movie starring trade.
Diggity dog, I sure hope Ellie gets him, then.
Well, don't hold your breath. I still say if Ellie can't cook, no man would look at her twice.
C'est pas vrai.
Un rêve.
Exquis.
Ravissant.
Adorable, non.
Une princesse.
Are y'all making fun of me?
Oh, mais non, Ellie Mae. We were saying that you are beautiful.
Ah, c'est belle pour n'importe quel homme.
Madame Pauvin will teach you some French, along with other things. You will find it very useful.
Oh, avec plaisir.
Oh, I have an appointment now with an important new customer, the wife of a bank president.
Comme Ellie, I want to see you in a dark wig. I'm sure the effect will be absolutely stunning.
Don't wait for me, Jenkins. I'll be a long time, I hope.
Bonjour, madame.
I'm Mrs. Milburn Drysdale. I have an appointment with Maurice.
I am Maurice.
Oh, this is a thrill. I hear your gowns can make any woman beautiful.
In your case, madame, it is you who will make my gown beautiful. Champagne?
I'd better not. The very atmosphere is intoxicating. What I do need, Maurice, is something perfectly exquisite to take my mind off those dreadful hillbillies.
Hillbillies?
I won't bore you with the story. I only wish my husband could operate his bank as you do your salon and exclude undesirable peasants like the Clampetts.
Did you say the Clampetts?
Oh, don't worry. They'll never come here. They dress in the most outrageous clothing you've ever... Who is she?
Who, madame?
That divine creature who just There she is again.
She's a customer.
But she must be someone famous. Is she a movie star?
No, madame.
Who then? Tell me.
If I did, you would not believe me.
Royalty. I should have known. She has that unmistakable regal bearing. Please, Maurice, tell me who she is.
I am sorry, Madame Drysdale, but we cannot reveal the identity of the young lady you have just seen.
Pardon, monsieur, téléphone.
Excusez-moi.
Tell me, she is royalty, isn't she? That lovely young lady.
Well, I can truthfully say that I did hear Monsieur Maurice refer to her as a princess.
I knew it. This is just too thrilling.
Chief, are you sure you're doing the wise thing?
Are you kidding? My wife told the chauffeur to wait. She'd hoped she'd be a long time. In this kind of a shop, she can break me.
Madame will notice the striking beauty of this gown, matched by her own striking beauty. The motif is classic, the material is velvet, and the design is, of course, original.
And the price is, of course, outrageous.
Milford, how utterly vulgar.
How much is it?
Maurice, you see what association with the wrong people has done to him? Pardonnez-moi.
Certainement, madame.
Milburn, you oaf. Just being here is a privilege. Do you realize who's back in the fitting room this very moment? A princess!
Really, a princess?
Did you say something about a princess?
Being fitted in the bath.
Isn't it thrilling? Who is she? Maurice refuses to divulge her identity.
Probably traveling incognito.
She didn't fool me. That kind of beauty and bearing has to be royalty. There she is. Isn't that thrilling?
Isn't that Ellie?
Gauls. Elegance. That's the word you're looking for, Chief.
Right. Ellie gone.
Yonder's the Drysdales and Miss Jane.
Glasses. Oh, here they are.
Mrs. Drysdale, the princess will think we're tourists.
You oaf. Look, you frightened her away.
Oh, dear, I'm sorry.
But why can't I just go over and say howdy to my friends? Well, they'll think I'm putting on airs.
Ellie, Madame Drysdale is, how you say, comment dit-on en anglais, poseur?
Snob.
Oui, snob. Now, if you will listen exactly to what Madame and I tell you, we will teach her a great lesson.
Okie dokie.
Oh, non, doki doki. Certainement, c'est contenu, naturellement.
Well, how about...
Well, now, Granny, with Ellie down there working so hard at becoming a lady, least we can do is bring her some company so she won't get lonesome.
I reckon you're right, Jed. Come on, Jethro, hurry up with that company.
What I want to know is why we can't be Ellie's company instead of these critters.
Jethro, if we was to go down there and stand around and watch Ellie studying ladying, she'd get nervous as a cat.
Speaking of that, where's your favorite bobcat?
Up in the tree, and if she wants it, she can come get it herself.
Yeah, I reckon that'll be enough company.
Skipper sure does look nice, don't he?
Of course he does. He's got on my best tie.
Dogged if he don't tie it better than you do.
Well, if I had 4 hands, I could do some fancy tying, too.
Fancy eating, too.
Come on, drive on, Jethro.
Milburn, you bourgeois banker. How can you just sit there when we may be about to meet royalty?
I have tremendous self-control.
What did you find out? Who is she? Where is she from? Is she really a princess? Can I meet her? Did you speak to her?
Mrs. Drysdale, please. She has agreed to allow you to be presented to her.
Oh, marvelous!
However, her identity must remain a secret.
I understand. International intrigue and all that sort of thing.
She will speak to you only through her interpreter.
Oh, I must call a special meeting of my bridge club and tell them of this.
Presenting Mr. and Mrs. Drysdale.
Je vous présente Monsieur et Madame Drysdale.
Enchantée.
Is the princess, that is Her Highness, staying at Beverly Hills long?
Madame interprétée.
Votre Altesse restera-t-elle à Beverly Hills longtemps?
Enchantée.
Yes. Come, Your Highness.
Exciting experience. You see, Milburn, that is real quality. The product of generations of breeding and culture. She represents something that mere money cannot buy.
I agree.
Me too. Staying in Beverly Hills for a while. Perhaps we can persuade the princess to appear at our huge party.
What huge party?
The one we're giving for the princess.
Now, Margaret.
Hathaway, you're very clever at arranging these things. Do speak to her interpreter. Enchanté.
Excuse me, ma'am, but we're looking for my daughter. She's about your size, except she got yellow hair.
Well, I'm Ellie.
Doggy, that is Ellie Mae.
Child, have you had your head up a stovepipe? Why, your hair is as black as soot.
And now, Granny, this here's a wig. See? Like this. Sure is good to see you. You too, Jethro.
Thanks. Oh, good. The entire royal family is here. Mrs. Drysdale would like to give a huge party for Ellie Mae.
Mrs. Drysdale?
She was mad at us this morning.
Yeah, we was chasing Ellie, and we cut across her outdoor card parlor, and she got awful riled at us.
Come in throwing things at us.
Little sandwiches. They was good, too.
Her attitude has changed. Will you attend the party, Ellie?
Well, is the rest of my family invited, too?
Mrs. Drysdale would be thrilled at the prospect. Excuse me.
You see, Ellie, what becoming a lady has already done for you?
Yes, sir, Paul.
Did you speak to her? Will she accept?
The princess will attend your party if her family and retinue are also guests.
But of course they're all invited. I'll be honored.
I shall so inform Her Highness.
Now, Milton, if we are going to entertain the royal family, I insist that those untouchables next door be moved out.
Margaret, how would you like it if the princess and her entire family and retinue were to occupy the Clampett mansion?
Oh, Milburn, I'd be the happiest woman in the world.
No more complaints about the hillbillies?
Never.
And your mother will stay in Boston?
Forever.
Then you have my word on it.
Her Highness is pleased to accept.
Your Highness.
Oh, Miss Drysdale, now that you ain't mad at us no more, we can just cut out all this foolishness of bowing and French talk.
We're right obliged for the party invite.
Hope you have some more of them little sandwiches you was throwing at us.
What's the matter, Miss Drysdale? You got a stomach ache?
Reckon she's ailing, all right. Oh, going all right. Sorry, Miss Drysdale calling off that party. Been a good chance for Ellie Mae to meet some fellas.
Don't you worry about Ellie Mae. She's gonna get a husband the right way. Baking and cooking.
Oh, you got to stir up biscuits again?
No, this time it's my homemade bread.
How you doing, Ellie Mae?
All right, I reckon.
And you put in the yeast, girl?
Oh, there was.
All there was. Why, that was a 2-quart crock.
Reckon I'd best get this outside before it gets out of control. Open the door, Ellie Mae. Best throw the blanket over it, Granny. We don't want to be scraping it off the walls again. Now I know what Cousin Pearl used to say to you, Ellie Mae. Marry a man that knows how to make dough.
Presentation. He can be vice president. Ellie Mae, secretary treasurer. That leaves Jethro. What do we do with him?
Here's an idea. I'll marry him.
Oh, he's serious.
Well, if I may say so, Chief, he'd make a far better husband than he would a corporation executive.
This corporation is just a formality for tax purposes. I'll continue to make all the decisions and all the investments just as I have in the past.
What will the Clampetts do?
Attend a board of directors meeting twice a year. Slow down, you're coming to the president's driveway.
Come back here and put on a dress. Oh, howdy, folks. Be right with you directly. Head her up, Duke.
You know, Chief, somehow they just don't look like corporation executives.
Did you bring your notary seal?
Right here, Chief. Ready to go.
Well, pucker up and seal off the wisecracks.
Oh, hi, Miss Jane. Mr. Drysdale.
Hello, Jethro.
You just missed Jed. He's out shagging Ellie.
Yes, we saw them.
Well, come in and have a cup of coffee whilst you're waiting.
Oh, thank you.
Good to see you, Mr. Drysdale. I'm sorry I couldn't stop before.
Quite all right.
Did you catch Ellie Mae?
No, but Duke's got a tree. Quick as I get my second wind, I'll climb up there and fetch her down.
Well, now, if you can take a little time away from treeing your daughter, I'd like you to become president of Clamco.
Oh, no, thanks, Mr. Drysdale. I ain't much of politics.
Politics?
Besides, I don't even recollect where Clamco is. You, Granny?
I think it's down in Pike County, Jed, near Flat Rock.
No. Clamco is right here in Beverly Hills.
Well, now, you best forget it for sure, because folks out here never vote for me for president.
Jed ain't fancy enough for city folks.
And if it comes to making speeches, I'd be plumb pitiful.
Mr. Clampett, you don't have to win an election. Clamco is a corporation, and you are its president by virtue of being the majority stockholder.
Here they are.
Sit down, Granny. Jethro? You too, Miss Hathaway. I have a feeling I'm going to need all the help I can get in explaining what a corporation is. Well, everybody ready?
Yes.
Yep.
Very well. Start explaining, Miss Hathaway.
Ellie, come down out of there. Now, Ellie Mae, it just don't seem fitting for the president of a big corporation to have to get his secretary out of a tree.
Who are you talking about?
I'm talking about you and me. Now, come on down here and I'll tell you more.
I'm coming down, Paul. Are you sure enough going to be the president of a big corporation?
Mm-hmm.
And am I sure enough going to be your secretary, Paul?
Ellie Mae, you're going to be secretary for the whole corporation. I'm president, Granny is vice president, and we decided to make Jethro treasurer because he knows so much about ciphering.
Are we going to have one of them in their office like Mr. Drysdale and me one like Miss Jane?
Well, they didn't say nothing about offices. All we got to do is come to a meeting twice a year.
Oh, shucks, that don't sound like much fun.
Now, wait, Ellie Mae. We'll get you down out of this tree and into a dress. I'll see to it that we have offices just like Mr. Drysdale and Miss Jane.
Well, can we have one of them there dictate machines so you can dictate letters?
If it makes you happy, we'll have two of them. We'll both dictate letters.
Let's go.
Thanks for the lunch, Fleming. See you later.
Your messages, Chief. This one I think is the most important.
Who wants an office?
President of Clamco Incorporated. And not just an office, but a suite of offices with 2 dictation machines, 1 typewriter for the secretary.
I can read. Pencils and plenty of ciphering paper for the treasurer.
Jethro.
A swivel rocking chair.
For Vice President Granny. Now, I have checked the building. We could give them the penthouse executive suite.
Are you out of your mind? That rent's for $2,500 a month. Besides, they don't need offices.
President Clampett seems to think they do.
Well, he'll just have to be talked out of it. Now get him on the phone. And when you get him, talk him out of it.
Oh, gee.
I have to do everything myself. Am I surrounded by jellyfish? Am I the only one with the courage to...
Howdy, folks. Just wondered how my new offices was coming along.
Fine, just fine. I'm giving you the best in the building. The penthouse executive suite.
Don't have to be nothing fancy.
Only the best for President Clampett. How soon those offices be ready, Miss Hathaway?
I think an hour should do it.
Well, speed it up. Anything else you'd like?
Well, to tell you the truth, there is. I always had a kind of a hankering for one of them fancy leather lunch boxes like you tote.
Miss Hathaway, take care of that. A fancy leather lunchbox with Mr. Clampett's name on it.
Yes, sir.
Well, sure do thank you. See you in about an hour.
We'll be looking for you, President.
Welcome to the Loyal Order of Jellyfish.
Do you have your notary seal handy?
Yes, sir.
Pucker up and use it.
Granny, you are gussied up to a fare thee well.
Don't you forget it, boy. I am the vice president of a big corporation.
Yes, ma'am.
Confidentially, Jethro, what does a vice president do?
I ain't sure. Reckon we'll find out when we get down to the office.
I reckon. What's that?
Well, I don't know. Fella just delivered it for Uncle Jed.
Open it up, Jethro. I think I know what it is. Yep. It's my new fancy leather lunchbox. You got my name on it.
Oh, we ain't that a dandy.
Sure is pretty.
How'd I look?
You look like a big, important corporation president.
That's a fact, Jed. You just fill that lunchbox with ham hocks and black-eyed peas and chitlins, and you can hold your own with any of them.
I reckon we ought to be getting down to the office. Jethro, you ready to commence treasuring?
Yes, sir. I'm going to cipher up a storm. I even borrowed a geometry book.
What's geometry?
Oh, it's clean other side of arithmetic. It's so deep, even I don't understand it for sure.
Well, you can study up on it, Granny. You all set to vice president?
Soon as I know what that is, yeah.
Well, here comes our secretary.
She looks like she's dressed for a dance.
Don't say that. At least the way she's wearing a dress and acting like a lady.
Hey, Paul, let's get down to the cooperation so we can commence the dictating something.
I figured you'd want me to wear one of these here dresses that Morris made for me.
Does you proud, Ellie. You're prettier than a Christmas packet.
Well, you are too, Paul. You too, Granny and Jethro.
Yeah, I reckon we's as fine-looking gaggle of corporation executives as you'd see in New York, Joplin, any of them big cities. Let's go.
People stopping and staring at us.
Well, Granny, I reckon it ain't every day that folks along Wilshire Boulevard gets to look at a whole corporation in one bunch like this.
Well, I wish them men would quit whistling at me.
Yeah, it is mighty disrespectful, you being a vice president and all.
Jed, what does a vice president do?
Well, Granny, quick as we get to the office, treasurer will look it up for you in one of them dictionaries, won't you, Jethro?
If I can squeeze it in with my geometry. It's awful deep, Uncle Jed. Listen to this. The square of the hypotenuse of a right triangle is equal to the sum of the squares of the other two sides.
Doggy, will you listen to that?
What does it mean?
You wouldn't understand it, Ella May. You're just a secretary.
What do you mean?
Well, now, let's have no squabble between the secretary and the treasurer.
Or you'll get flogged by the vice president. Forgot to fill your leather lunchbox with victuals.
Oh, I'm just toting for practice, Granny.
Well, whereabouts is our offices, Paul?
Well, Mr. Drysdale's giving us what they call a penthouse.
What's a penthouse?
I reckon we'll find out directly. Come on, everybody.
Come on, Granny.
If this is a penthouse, you can have it.
Come on back, Granny. Granny!
Come here. Jed, I ain't a-going.
You come on back.
I ain't a-going in there, Jed. It ain't big enough for us. There's no windows in it. We'll suffocate.
Granny, this ain't the penthouse. This here is an elevator.
This is how you get to the penthouse.
Hell out, this thing grabbed me. Let go of me. You want to revive me, you?
Get your back, Jethro.
Jethro! You put down, you big lummox. Put me down. I ain't going in here.
Come on in, Granny. It's all right.
I changed my mind. I don't want to be no vice president. I want to go home.
We won't let nothing happen to you, Granny.
You see, Ellie Mae ain't scared.
That thing didn't grab her.
Set her
It
down.
grabbed me.
Set her down, Jethro.
It's moving!
Hey, Granny, why are you staying in there?
I'm going back down and get my stomach.
Come on now, don't be scared.
What's Clamco Inc., Paul?
Well, Clampco's the name of our corporation.
Is we gonna make ink?
For all I know, we might be going to make Clampco's. Mr. Drysdale didn't say for sure.
Ooh-wee. Look at Uncle Jed's name written on that door in gold.
Jethro, I want you to get a hold of some paint. Put the rest of your names up there, same as mine. We's all in this corporation together.
Not me. I quit when I was being yanked up in that oversized well bucket. I guess I can find me some stairs. I'm going home.
Look, Granny, don't you want to stay and see your office?
No, I don't. But I reckon I ought to stay and see that the rest of you is comfortable.
See, this here's my desk. See, I got my name on it.
No, there's your dictating machine.
Dictating something, Paul.
Well, quick as we get settled and go to corporate, and I'll do that.
Hey, Granny, look at here. Vice President Granny.
Jethro, Granny says she's done quit. Now, when you take her home, you bring back a can of Terps and wash her name off its door.
Yes, sir.
Now, just a doggone minute. Who's higher up? Vice President or Treasurer?
Vice President, I reckon.
Well, then there ain't gonna be no treasurer washing off no vice president from no door.
Hey, Jethro, come see your office. Got your name on the door and everything.
Hot diggity dog.
Can't blame you for feeling proud, boy. Here you are, treasurer of a big corporation, not even out of the 6th grade.
Well, I'm going to work hard, Uncle Jed. Folks ain't going to say I'm a success just because I'm your nephew.
That's the spirit, boy. Get in there and get the treasurer.
Yes, sir.
Hey, Paul, wait till you see your office. It's a yellow speckled doozy.
Private?
That means can't nobody come in and bother you.
Yeah, let's get that off of there right away. Can't do business without folks can come in and talk to me.
Ain't this something, Paul?
Sure enough is. Well, there's room in here for all of us. We don't need them other offices.
Well, maybe when business gets to going, we'll need them.
Sure wish Mr. Drysdale would tell us what kind of business we're in. We're up high enough to be in the roofing business. Look down yonder.
That's a long jump.
I sure hope Granny don't try to leave without finding her stairs.
Kid Clampett, I quit.
Again?
Ain't you happy with your office?
I ain't happy with my job.
Vice President?
That's it. I just had Jethro look up what that word vice means. And I ain't gonna be president of no such goings-on.
Uncle Jed, I couldn't find no Terps, but I got some of that gold paint.
Mr. Whitland, Jed.
Oh, wait, I got an idea. Hold down this half of your Granny. We have this fixed in no time, Granny. There you are. Nice president. Enemy, you call Mr. Drysdale. Tell him the president, secretary, and treasurer of Clamco Inc. is rare to go to work doing whatever it is they're supposed to do.
That's better.
I'll answer that. You get out your notary seal.
Hello there, Mr. Drysdale. This here's secretary of Clamco Inc.
And the treasurer.
And the nice president.
And the other president.
We's up here in the penthouse raring to go to work, except we don't know what to do.
We'd like to talk to you, Mr. Drysdale.
He says it ain't time yet for a meeting of the board.
Tell him we get bored quicker than city folks.
Yes. All right, Ellie Mae, I'll come right up and explain everything. Bye. You come along. 3 miles are better than 1.
And so we see, from what I have pointed out, that the corporation tax picture is not only brighter from the standpoint of the maximum tax rate of 50% on corporate income, as opposed to 77% on personal income, but also from the standpoint of the eventual possibility of attaining a long-term capital gain upon the ultimate sale or dissolution of said corporation, to wit, Clamco Inc.
Mr. Treasurer, you hear all that?
Oh, yes, sir, every word.
You understand it?
No, sir, not a word.
How about you, Miss Secretary? You understand it?
No, sir, Paul. I mean, President.
How about you?
She lost me right after she stood up and cleared her throat.
Miss Jane, that was a dandy speech. But I'm afraid that I didn't cut a whole lot of meat out of it, neither. I suppose you understood it, Mr. Drysdale?
Not a word.
Chief!
Oh, I'm kidding. But I can boil her 10-minute oration down to one simple statement. You'll be paying less money to the government. Now, I make a motion that we adjourn so you can go home and relax and leave all the high finance to us experts.
Well, now, excuse me, Mr. Drysdale, but could I say something?
Of course, what's on your mind?
Well, now, I hear tell that the government needs a lot of money.
Well, that's their problem. Our problem is to see that they don't get it from us.
Why?
Why? Well, everybody tries to avoid paying taxes.
Why?
Well, great Scott, man. That's the American way.
Chief, perhaps you should explain to Mr. Clampett that it is perfectly legal to avoid taxes so long as we do not evade them.
Right. In other words, Mr. Clampett, the government doesn't want you to pay any more tax than you have to.
Well, now, if the government needs all this money and I got plenty, I don't mind giving it to them, especially since this country's been so good to me.
Yeah, you
That's
bet.
for sure. Well, the way to help this country is to put money in circulation. And that's exactly what Clamco is going to do.
It is?
Absolutely. That's what a prosperous business economy does. Puts more money into the hands of more people.
Well, that makes a whole heap of good sense.
I see you're getting the picture. Well, now, if you'll excuse us, we'll be getting back to the office.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Drysdale, for explaining it to us.
It's a pleasure. Goodbye, sir.
Bye.
Au revoir.
Well, I reckon we got our work cut out for us.
We sure have.
That's a fact.
I'll say.
What is it, Uncle Jed?
That's what Mr. Drysdale said. We got to get more money into the hands of more people.
Oh, yeah. He said that. How are we going to do it?
Well, the first thing we need is money. Now, you and Ellie run down to the cashier, fella, and get a big heaping box of it.
Come on, Jethro.
Gentlemen, Clamco Incorporated, which I have the pleasure to represent as a director, is desirous of purchasing large parcels of income property. Hotels, apartment buildings, commercial property in your area. We have unlimited capital and we... Great Scott! Money! Falling from the sky, look!
Chief, I hate to say this, but I think it's coming from the penthouse.
Oh, no. They wouldn't. They couldn't.
They would, they couldn't. They are!
Fistful of five. 3 more 20s.
Couple of hundred.
Hey, wait a minute. Hold on, Uncle Jed. I can't treasure as fast as you're throwing it out.
Don't worry about it, Jethro.
Okay. Diggity dog, we sure getting a lot of money into the hands of a lot of people.
Compliments of Clamco Incorporated.
Wait a minute. Them people's getting it all. How about the folks over on my side of the building?
Help yourself, Granny.
Load me up, Ellie.
Granny, what's going on up here?
Prosperous economy. Come help me with my side of the building.
Wait.
Positive, Granny.
Granny, stop! You cannot throw money out the window.
Not till I get some more.
Here's some more, Granny. Step aside, everybody.
Grass picking up real good. Another box of money, Jethro.
Get bigger bills. It makes them much happier.
Chief, cheer up. So they gave away $27,000. They could afford it.
I know, but the way they did it, it's not deductible. Now Jed wants to dissolve the corporation.
Did he give you a reason?
No. He just said if he couldn't give money away, that he'd just as soon forget it.
Head her off, Duke. Ellie, you come back here and put on a dress. Howdy, folks. Be with you directly. Head her off, Duke. Ellie, come down out of there.
I ain't gonna do it, Paul.
Well, Chief, if I may venture an observation, it looks as though Clampco Incorporated is up a tree.
Here's your notary seal.
Pucker up.
Exactly. And Clampco that wise mouth.
Well, by dingy's young fella, that was a dandy ride.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you for picking me up. These shoes were just killing my feet. Ain't broke in good yet.
Well, I could see you was limping when you flagged me down.
Putting your wave my arm out before you stop.
Well, I'm used to spotting people who need a lift. I do that all day.
Oh, what a fine thing. You must be a nice man. Come on in and meet my family.
No thanks, lady. I gotta get going.
Oh, don't be in a hurry. Ain't near as late as you think. That clock of yours is way fast. Uh-oh. You stopped altogether now.
Are you talking about that?
Yeah. See, it says 6:30 and it's barely noon. You better get that thing fixed. It's probably a busted mainspring.
Lady, that means $6.30.
Oh, then forget it. You can get a new clock for that. Thanks again. Goodbye.
Hey, but, lady, what about the fare?
Are you asking me?
I sure am.
Well, now, ain't that nice? Wait till I tell Jed. Jed, I'm going to the fair.
Who with, Granny?
Nicest man I met since I come to Beverly Hills. He works for something they call a cab company. But mostly he just drives around and takes tired folks home. He just brung me clean from town.
Well, now, you see, Granny, there's nice folks every place. Just have to take trouble to find them.
You better go out and keep 'em company, Jed. We're going to do a lot of walking at the fair. I got to get out of these high-style shoes.
All right, Granny. So, howdy there. Come in, come in. Reckon you're the young fellow that brought Granny home. My name's Jed Clampett.
Oh, hi.
I don't believe I caught your name.
It's, Burton.
Burton, huh? What's your first name?
Richard.
Mr. Burton. Dick Burton?
That's right, and my wife's name is Elizabeth.
Well, doggy, Liz and Dick Burton. You know there's another Liz and Dick Burton?
No.
Yeah, run a feed store back home.
Feed store?
Been running it for 40 years. Back home, whenever anybody thinks of hogwash, they just naturally think of Liz and Dick. Sit down.
No thanks. Say, what happened to the lady that just came in?
Oh, she'll be down in a minute. She told me about the fair.
Good, that's 6:30.
Well, you got loads of time. Sit down.
Well, glad you come in. I wanted you to meet my son-in-law. Ain't he a nice feller, Jed?
He sure is.
Gives you a whole new feeling about Beverly Hills. Well, changed my shoes. We're ready for the fair.
Me too, that'll be 6:30.
Oh, you two got lots of time to kill.
Yeah, we can go for another ride.
Not until I get my $6.30.
$6.30.
Well, the time I've been waiting, it should be $7.
What for?
For picking her up in town and bringing her all the way up here.
You mean you're going to charge money to a poor old widow for picking her up and fetching her home?
Of course, that's how I make my living.
Well, you ought to be ashamed of yourself.
What?
For making folks think you're so kind and neighborly and then charging them money for it.
Lady, that's my business.
Well, I'm going to make it mine.
Now, simmer down, Granny. Mr. Burton, I reckon what you're doing is within the law, but it's a mighty sorry way for a grown man to behave.
Oh, this has got to be a rib. The costumes, the mansion, the whole bit.
I didn't know I was living in a mansion. I was born in a little log cabin, but poor as we was, I'd have never took a penny the way you're taking it.
Never mind the Gettysburg Address. Just give me my money.
I ain't got no money in these clothes. You'll have to wait a minute.
You ain't waiting for no money. You have slickered your last winner. Death Row, Ellie Mae, somebody! Fetch my shotgun!
Hey, look, lady, I'll wait in a cab.
You ain't waiting no place. You get off of our property.
Not till I get my 6:30.
All you're gonna get is 2 12s.
I'm going right to the police.
That's good. Turn yourself in. And when you get out, try and lead a decent life.
Who is he, Granny?
A feller that takes money from innocent women. Why, it's a good thing he showed his colors before he got me out to the fairgrounds and filled me up with cotton candy and soda pop.
Where'd you meet him?
He picked me up in town. Oh, butter wouldn't melt in his mouth. He was so nicety nice.
How come he left without his money?
He found out he couldn't get his silver without a little lead.
Now, Granny, you know good and well you wouldn't really shoot nobody with this.
What are you talking about? You know I've smoked the britches of many a chicken thief and revenue with that gun.
Only when it was loaded with rock salt and bacon rind.
Well, it scared him good. Besides, it gave the chicken something to peck at the next morning. Jethro, you're just the rascal I'm looking for.
Well, what'd I do now?
Nothing. You're gonna learn me to drive.
Well, what for?
What? It ain't safe for a lady to walk the streets of Beverly Hills.
All right, Uncle Jet?
I don't see no harm in it. When you get through with Granny, I might just take a go at it myself.
Come on, come on. What do I do first, boy?
Well, the first thing you do is turn that there what you call ignition key.
What does it unlock?
The electricity or something. Then the next thing you do is stomp down on the starter. That's that there little button on the floor. And then you leave off the brake. Like this.
Doggy, she learned quick, didn't she?
She ain't learned yet. She had that thing in gear. Hey, Granny, step on the brake!
Jethro, instead of standing there yelling, maybe you better cut across and catch her before she gets out the gate.
Yes, sir, Uncle Jim.
What did you stop me for? I was just getting going good.
Yes, sir, Ellie Mae, you're gonna make some man mighty. I wish you'd look at that. I ain't seen one of them in years.
Well, tear into it, Paul.
You bet I will. See, this is an extra big one, Ellie. How about you having some?
Oh, no, sir. This is all for you, Paul.
Good. See, you got some hot mustard I could smear on that?
Oh, it's got hot mustard in it, Paul.
Oh, good. Well, how about some sorghum to pour over it?
It's got sorghum in it, too.
Well, say, Ellie Mae, how about you brewing up a pot of coffee?
I got some boiling.
Boiling?
Yes, sir. I'll fetch it over. Eat it while it's hot, Paul. When it gets cool, it gets kind of tough.
You've been boiling that coffee for some time, ain't you?
Yes, sir, Paul. I want to make sure it was good and done.
But I tell you what, Ellie, now that you cooked me such a fine lunch, why don't you go out and see how Granny's doing with the driving?
Well, I got to feed Skipper and JoJo first. Come on, fellas. Time for lunch.
Tell you what, Ellie, let me feed them. You go out and tell Granny about cooking victuals. She'll be right proud of you.
Yes, sir, Paul.
Here you are, Skipper. Let me see you tie into that.
Are you learning to drive, Granny?
Been driving for a half hour. Nothing to it.
Well, let's see you do some.
Plain or fancy?
Oh, just plain, I reckon.
All right.
Hey, Granny, put on the brake! Oh, that's the gas!
I can't wait to see her fancy driving.
Wowie! Who's driving that truck?
Hey, you the rascal that was smooth-talking Granny and tried to get her to the fair so's you could fill her full of cotton candy and soda pop.
Oh, boy, this has got to be the Beverly Hills Funny Farm.
Hey, where are you going?
Look, I'm sure you're all harmless, but I gotta find the doctor in charge of this place and tell him that somebody left the gate open and 2 beauties got out.
You smooth-talking me.
Oh, boy. Look, honey, take me to your keeper.
Quick, fellas. Take the tug-of-war outside. We don't want to discourage Ellie.
Paul, that rascal that Granny chased. Oh, I see you ate all your omelette.
Omelette?
You want to fix you another one?
Oh, no. I mean, why don't you try cooking something different this time?
Well, to tell the truth, I just as lieve. These here golfers sure is hard to cook.
Golf egg? These eggs you use in the omelette?
Yes, sir. You'll never crack it that way, Paul. I had to melt these rascals down, shell and all.
I think you best throw these out. I don't think they're strictly fresh leaves.
Yes, sir. Oh, like I started to tell you, that there Burton fella, he's out front. Says he wants to talk to the foreman of this here Skull Ranch.
Skull Ranch?
That's just what he said. He was talking so funny that I just wouldn't let him come in the house.
Good girl, Ellie.
All right. You can take Jethro bird watching this one time. But from now on, concentrate on Ellie Mae.
Very well, Chief. You're the doctor.
Oh, hey, Doc, you're just the fellow I'm looking for. A couple of your guests just checked out of your Ha-Ha hotel.
What are you talking about?
Oh, the doc will know what I'm talking about. Hey, look, Doc, you know that little one called Granny?
Yes, what about
Well,
her?
someone left the gate open and she went tearing out of here about a mile a minute, driving an old truck.
Granny driving?
She doesn't know how to drive.
You're telling me she almost creamed the side of my cab.
Hathaway, get on the phone to the police. Explain the situation. Ask them not to arrest Granny, just to stop her and bring her back here.
Right, Chief.
By the way, what are you doing here?
I tried to collect some cab fare from Granny, but...
Granny called a cab?
No, I was cruising in town, and she was walking along the curb and waving and yelling at cars, so I picked her up. I thought she was a little peculiar, but I didn't think she was from this place. And when I asked for my fare, well, she chased me out with a shotgun.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Hey, it's none of my business, but should they have guns?
No, they shouldn't, but I try to humor them. How much was the fare?
$6.30.
Here, 10. Keep the change.
Oh, thank you very much.
Excuse me, Chief. I have alerted the police. They have issued an all-points bulletin. Granny will be intercepted and escorted home.
Good. Well, if Granny's going to drive in here, I'd better move my car.
Hey, me too.
Hey, Granny, you just went past another red light.
Don't worry about passing them red lights. He's catching up with us.
Granny! This ain't the driveway!
Who needs it? I'm taking a shortcut.
Well, we'll be back shortly.
Here they come, Chief. Mr. Clampett.
Bye.
These Beverly Hills police certainly are efficient.
Best in the
country.
Break!
Granny, step on the brake!
Jethro, you ought to learn your granny to park out front like you do.
Uncle Jeff, I have done given my last driving lesson.
Granny, are you all right?
Am I all right? I beat that policeman
Lady,
here.
I've seen a lot of drivers in my day, but you topped them all. Now, would you sign this citation for me, please?
That's just fine. If you want to wait a little while, I'll go in and see if I can find a picture and I'll autograph it for you.
No, thanks. I'd just like to see your license, please.
Hunting, fishing, or wedding.
Officer, I'm Milburn Drysdale. If you'll step inside, we'll telephone headquarters and straighten the whole thing out.
Hey, buddy, come here. Huh? I can see you're a little confused. Don't you know what this place is?
It's like a private home.
It's a private home, all right, with rubber rooms.
What?
Yeah, it's sort of a very exclusive Freud factory. Yeah, you know, kind of a happy farm.
The little woman I picked up, she's,
Bubbles in a think tank. I brought her back once today. She keeps busting out.
Who's that big kid with her?
Well, I figure he's got a little space to rent, too. You know that tall geezer, the one with a scraggly beard? Thinks he's Abe Lincoln.
Well, who's the fella Drysdale?
Oh, he's the doc, the head shrinker.
Thanks, I'm glad you told me. Well, wait a minute, what are you doing here?
Oh, no, that's my cab out there. I'm waiting for somebody to bust out so I can bring him back. The doc pays real good for that.
Don't give me that. It's mine. Now you turn loose. You ain't supposed to have this.
Well, there's another one.
Yeah, she's trying to get away from the dog. Looks like a piece of rubber.
Probably wallpaper from a room.
Jojo, you come back here. Jojo, bring that back.
Well, there's another $15. See you later.
Glad that rascal's gone. Granny didn't cotton to him.
Is that because he picked her up and brought her back here?
Yeah, but she can drive now. Make it easier for her to get away.
Why would she want to get away?
Well, it ain't much fun being cooped up in here all day. I can tell you that myself.
Let's put it this way, if you're going to be cooped up, this is a beautiful spot for it.
Yeah, it's nice, all right. You know, I was born and raised in a little log cabin.
Really?
Yeah. Moving into here was like moving into the White House.
Tell me, this little old log cabin you were born in, was it around here somewhere?
Oh, it was way back in the hills, right smack in the middle of the woods.
I'll bet you did a lot of rail split when you were a boy.
It's a fact. Man and boy, I split many a rail.
Did you read by the light of the fire?
When I could find something to read. I used to have to walk 10, 12 miles to borrow a book.
And I'll bet you were always honest and returned it.
You betcha.
Officer, can I see you for a moment?
Be right with you, Doc. Excuse me, Mr. President.
Yeah, reckon he heard about my corporation.
I spoke to the captain. I gave him my assurance that Granny would do no more driving. He said to tell you that everything is squared away, okay?
Oh, well, all right, whatever you say. You're the doctor.
Where do you think you're going?
Bird watching. You promised I could take Jethro.
Well, all right, go ahead.
Perhaps we should see a red-breasted nut-hat, sort of yellow-bellied sapsucker.
Well, it's none of my business, but shouldn't somebody go along to keep an eye on those two?
You want the job?
No. Thank you. But there is something. You know, I've never been in a place like this. Could I go upstairs and look around?
Sure, if you'd like to, go ahead.
On a second thought, I'm due back at headquarters. So long, Doctor. And you too, fella. Excuse me, Mr. President, but I gotta get out of here.
Hey, where are you going?
I'm taking the shortcut.
like Granny opened up a new road.
Well, here you are, Mr. Clampett. Now remember, I've promised the Beverly Hills police that Granny will do no more driving.
I'll do my best, Mr. Drysdale, but that's a mighty muley little woman, and she has took quite a shine to driving.
Well, we've got to see to it that she...
Granny! She must have snuck around the house.
We've got to stop her.
Relax, Mr. Drysdale. It ain't Granny driving. Spunky little fella. You couldn't get me out in that traffic for money.
Come and listen to my story.
Heat the water. Jed's got the misery. Ellie Mae, Jethro.
Hey.
Sinking fast.
Granny! Quieten down. I ain't as sick as all that.
You get back into your bed and stay there.
All right, I'll do it if you just calm down.
I'm calm. Now you do as I tell you. You're a sick man. You're deathly sick.
All right, all right.
Hurry, Ellie, come quick. Uncle Jed's sick.
I'm coming. What can I do to help? You can get them varmints and them critters out of here. Don't you know your paw is sick?
Yes, ma'am, Granny. But don't worry, they won't catch nothing.
Get him out. Get him out. Jethro, you go get me a mud dauber's nest. Some rich weed, some dog banes, some stump waters, dried beetles, and some lizard eggs. I got doctoring to do.
I ain't never known Pa to be sick before.
That man's never ailed a day in his life.
What you reckon it is?
It's city living, that's what it is. There ain't enough outdoors for a mountain man like Jed. They keep filling it up with buildings. First thing you know, all the outdoors is going to be indoors.
Bluey. Got him, Duke. Nice big fat honker flying south. Bluey. Got us another one. We gonna have goose and dumplings tonight.
Carl?
Just a minute, Ellie. Come in. Come in.
Oh? Oh, I'm terrible worried. You ain't never been sick before.
Oh, don't you worry, Ellie. Ain't nobody better doctoring than Granny.
But, Pa, Granny can't find the proper medicine. And you might sink away and pass before she can save you.
No, Granny will pull me through.
I'm scared for you, Pa.
Oh, now, Ellie, don't go to crying. Look, if you can keep a secret, I'll tell you the truth. I ain't really sick. I'm just pretending for your granny's sake.
What you mean?
Well, remember back home how folks was always coming over to our place to let Granny doctor them?
Yeah.
Remember how happy it made Granny?
Yeah, especially if one of them got better.
Yeah, right. Folks out here got city doctors, and they don't need Granny, and she misses it something terrible.
You reckon that's why she's been so down in the mouth here lately?
Of course. You should have seen her when I told her I was ailing. Why, she commenced a bouncing and jumping around, worrying about me being at death's door. I ain't seen her so happy in a year.
Hold on, Jed, I'm a-coming. Hurry with my medicine, Jethro. Jed, I don't want to worry you, but you're an awful sick man.
Granny.
Shh. Save your strength. You're wrinkling awful fast.
Granny, your specs is all steamed up. That's due.
Get him off the bed. Jed, I don't want to worry you, but you're an awful sick man.
I know, Granny, but anybody can save me, it's you.
That's the truth. Ain't nobody can doctor like you.
It ain't no credit to me. I was born with the gift.
Here's your medicine, Granny. Hey, Uncle Jed, you don't look sick to me. Hey, come on, let's you and me go hunting. Come on. Hey, look, see, Granny, he's dressed to go hunting now.
I'm ashamed of you.
Now, Granny,
Don't you know that every mountain man wants to go to his reward with his boots on and his gun at his side? Now, cover him up. Not all the way. He ain't gone yet. I ain't gonna let you go, Jed.
Thank you, Granny.
Let's get busy. Jethro, get my medical tray and set it on the bed.
Yes, Granny.
Ellie Mae, shut the door and the windows. We gotta trap them city germs that's in here and commence to fighting them.
Yes, Granny.
Jethro, drop this in my boiling water and get my vapors to fusilating. This is a make-do remedy, Jed. Because Jethro couldn't get me any stump water, dog bane, or lizard eggs.
What is it you're fixing to give me, Granny?
Brand new, Jed. It's in the trying out stages.
Who have you tried it out on?
Well, no human beings yet. Here, Ellie, light the fumigating candles. Jethro, start a fire and throw some of that skunk weed on it. I'll put them germs down with my putting down powder. Nothing can live through this, Jed.
I believe you, Granny.
Granny! You get back to bed, you poor, sick, miserable, frail old man.
Granny, I can't breathe.
That's why I'm doctoring you, you darn fool.
Granny, will you listen for a minute?
You get back to bed. Don't you know that you're a death door?
Don't hurt him, Granny.
I'll take a club to him if you don't lay down like I tell him to. Go fetch my shoes.
3, 4.
Well, morning, Mr. Drysdale.
Oh, good morning, Ellie Mae.
What you doing?
Well, I'm taking my morning constitutional.
You are?
Yes. It's got me in the best shape since my army days. I feel that. And they say bankers are soft, eh?
Well, you sure are nice and soft.
Maybe by mountain standards, I'm no Tarzan. But I assure you, my Beverly Hills physician is going to be amazed when he examines me this morning.
How come?
Because of my condition. You know, every morning I walk all the way from my front door across your lawn and over to that bird bath.
Why? Ain't you got no place to wash up?
How's your father?
Well, right now he's trying to get Granny cheered up. She's been missing the hills back home something awful.
Oh, what's the matter? Is something wrong?
Well, you see, back home, folks was always coming to Granny for doctoring. Nothing pleasures her like telling folks what ails them and what to do about it.
Well, I'll do my bit.
Granny, Mr. Drysdale wants to talk to you.
Yes, Granny, I need your advice and your help.
He's ailing, Granny. Feeling right poorly.
Stick out your tongue. Them city germs.
Yes, I agree. Now, can you help me?
I'm probably the only one who can. Jethro, get him up to the sick room and see that he gets to bed right away.
No, I don't have time for that. Just a little poultice, something I can take with me to the office.
Get him up to bed, Jethro.
No, really, it's not that serious. Besides, I have an examination at 10 o'clock.
You get examined when I get around to you. Now give him up to bed, Jethro. And
Yeah,
then you
Granny.
go find me some stump water.
Wait, stop! I haven't got time for this. I've got to get down.
You leave patience. No stump water. It ain't easy being a doctor in Beverly Hills.
Uh-huh. Yes. Fine. All right. Thank you, Mrs. Drysdale. I'll try there. She thinks he may have stopped at the Clampetts next door. You're going to be amazed when you examine the chief.
I am?
He's in splendid physical condition. Been walking every morning.
To the bank.
No, it's the neighbor's bird bath. But it's a nice little jaunt.
Well, I'm glad to hear it. Most bankers are soft as marshmallows. Till you try to borrow money from them.
Oh, hello, Granny. Jane Hathaway here. Is Mr. Drysdale there? May I... What? Sick in bed? At your house? Well, I'll send his doctor right over. What's that?
I said he's already got the best doctor in Beverly Hills. Now, excuse me, I'm too busy to talk.
She says he already has the best doctor in Beverly Hills.
I better get over there right away. Best doctor in Beverly Hills? How can there be two of us?
What did Jethro do with my clothes?
I only give them to Granny to have them fumigated.
Well, clothes or no clothes, I am leaving.
You ain't got no chance of getting down them steps. Granny watches them like a hawk. Let's go take a look out the window.
Alex, pretty far to jump.
Well, maybe you can make that limb of that tree yonder.
Well, I'm in pretty good shape, but not that good.
Shut that window! I just had these germs put down. Now you open the window and let them in again.
Granny, Mr. Drysdale feels pretty good. I think maybe he's well.
You get back to bed.
Oh, no, he's right, Granny. I feel wonderful, perfectly marvelous.
Of course you do. I've been doctoring you.
Oh, and you're sensational. You know you've made me well.
I had you well. Then you opened that window and breathed in some more germs.
Oh, no, I didn't. Honest. I opened the window, but I didn't breathe. Oh, I swear it. I held my breath, didn't I, Mr. Clampett?
Granny, I swear I ain't actually seen him take a breath in 5 or 10 minutes.
Lung lock. That got him breathing, but he's still wheezing an awful lot. You get into bed. Get into bed.
I've got to get to the bank.
You gotta get into bed.
No, really, I can't.
You know that your life is hanging by a thread. Get into bed. You darn fool and lie down. This calls for a different kind of medicine. I'm going down to the kitchen and whomp it up. Neither one of you get a foot out of that bed, you hear me? You just lay there and listen to that music. And be glad it ain't harps you're hearing.
Well, howdy there. I knowed somebody was coming the minute I heard that music.
Is this the Clampett residence?
Oh, yes, sir.
I'd like to see the doctor that's taking care of Mr. Drysdale.
Oh, yes, sir. Come right in. Hey, Granny, word's getting around. Here's another one.
Howdy.
How do you do?
Well, I see you got your things with you. You figuring on staying for a while?
As long as necessary.
Praise be. Here's one that understands a great doctor and takes a little time.
Thank you.
You? Now, what do you reckon the problem is?
Well, I won't know until I've had a consultation and my own examination is completed.
We're going to get along just fine.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Now, I'll be taken to the sick room.
Oh, did you hear that, Jethro? Ain't he a joy?
He sure is, Granny.
You make doctoring a real pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you. Now take him up to the sick room, Jethro. I got work to do in the kitchen. I'll be up to see you directly.
Oh, now you won't have to climb these stairs again. I'll come out to the kitchen and see you there.
Lord love you. You're so nice. You about got me to bawling. But don't you worry. If great doctrine can do it, we'll come through as good as new.
Thank you.
Thank you.
What a lovely little woman.
She sure is. Hey, this way to the sick room. Hey, what you got in that there little bag?
Everything I'll need, I'm sure.
Well, that's good, because we're running low on nightshirts. Granny, you know that last patient that was so nice?
Yeah?
Well, he weren't so nice when I asked him to take off his clothes.
Why? What happened?
Well, he commenced to bucking like a steer. Kept yelling for the doctor. But I knowed you was busy, so I just put him to bed and locked the door.
Jethro, let's hurry, Ellie. I gotta pull them 3 back from the brink of the grave. Lizard eggs.
Ain't got none, Granny.
I forgot. Well, give me some gunpowder. Sometimes that works just as good. Ellie, careful. 3 ailing is enough.
Either one of you fellers know any funny stories?
Well, the good doctor there usually regales his patients with a few of the ladies.
How about it, Doc?
All right. Have you heard the one about the busy doctor who made a house call? Was seized, forcibly undressed, and thrown into bed?
No, what happened?
Well, his patient was a rich banker. So this busy doctor doubled his fee. And if he has to stay locked up here much longer, he's going to triple it.
I didn't ask you to come here. But if you're going to charge me, then by George, you're going to examine me. So get your bag of tinker toys and get at it.
Show a little more respect for the dignity of the medical profession, shall we?
Hey, what's this, a rubber hammer?
Yes.
Well, I see where it'd be nice and quiet, but I don't see how you'd drive any nails with it.
I don't use it for nails.
Oh, good. What's that thing?
This is a stethoscope. With it, I can listen to the patient's heart and lungs, like this.
Ooh, that's cold.
What'd you say?
I say that's cold.
Jethro, how's Mr. Drysdale? Did the doctor treat him?
Oh, yeah? But there's terrible trouble, Miss Jane. That last batch of medicine blew up and pretty near ruined the whole kitchen.
Medicine blew up?
Well, yeah. My granny said it was mixing the corn squeezins and the gunpowder that did it.
Jethro, would you please explain what you are talking about?
I haven't got time now, Miss Jane. There's 3 sick men lying upstairs in bed, and I got to get these things sharpened so's Granny can go to cutting on them. Well, yeah. Without we got no medicine, this is the only thing that'll save them.
Jethro, try to be calm. Now, is Mr. Drysdale one of the men that Granny's going to cut on?
Yeah, Mr. Drysdale, Uncle Jed, and the fellow that came last by the name of Clydeburn.
The doctor?
You'll have to wait your turn. I gotta get upstairs and commit whacking on those 3 men that I got up there. Bring my tools, sir.
No, Granny, I will not let you do it.
Now, I've had enough fighting with muley patients, more than I can take today. Now, Ellie Mae, you get her out of the way and keep her out.
Sorry, Miss Jane?
You come with me. I don't think Jed will put up a scrap, but them other 2 might have to be held down.
Granny, please come back. I'm begging of you.
I'll get to you later. I've only got 2 hands.
Ellie Mae, we have got to prevent Granny from operating.
She ain't gonna operate, Miss Jane. She's just gonna whack off some of their hair and fingernails.
Hair and fingernails?
She'll dig 3 little holes in the ground, bury it, say some magic words, and that throws a spell on their sickness.
Yeah.
Ah.
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 Say, Doctor, I bet you he could talk a heap better if you took that stick out of his mouth.
Lock it, Jethro. Get back in bed.
You heard her. Get back in bed.
Get this junk off of the bed. I got doctoring to do.
Now, look here.
You heard her. Get that junk over there.
Those are the finest medical instruments that money can buy.
Thank you. Razor sharp, too. All right, Mr. Drysdale, I'll commence on you.
No, just a minute. What do you have in mind with that knife and those scissors?
Well, I gotta cure you somehow. And without medicine, there's only one way left.
Oh, no. Not me.
Her name, Jethro.
Madam, I can get you any medicine you require simply by telephoning a pharmacy.
You can?
And they will deliver to your front door.
Oh, that's just dandy. I'd much rather use medicine. It's a lot easier than cutting and snipping.
Exactly what I keep telling my surgeon friends. Now, you'll just lead me to a telephone?
Right this way.
Childless Pharmacy? Petey? Yeah, it's me. And look, I'm going to put this lady on. She'll tell you all the medicine she needs. I want you to give her A1 service. Attaboy. Right. I'll go reassure Mr. Drysdale. He seemed a little panicky.
Hello? You got a pencil to mark this down with? All right. Now, I want a quart of good, raunchy stuff water. The kind that's been aged in the wood stuff. It's been sitting there from 30 to 40 days, and it's nice and green. Wait a minute. That ain't all. I want a heaping cupful of lizard eggs, a double handful of dog bane, and a couple of dozen of dried beetles. And I want a mud dauber's nest. And I mean a big one. Don't send me over one of them little 2-holers.
You all right?
Who wants to talk to you?
Yeah, Petey. Now, look, I don't care what she ordered. You get it over here fast. No, this is no gag. Now, look, you pride yourself on having the finest supply of pharmaceutical... Hello? Hello? Yeah, well, I'll call another pharmacy.
Oh, that won't do no good. You just can't buy proper medicine here in Beverly Hills. Jethro!
Yeah, Granny?
I'm gonna have to go to cutting and snipping on those 3 sick ones.
Oh, not me. I'm getting out of here.
Get him, Jethro! Ellie Mae!
Yes'm, Granny.
Dig me 3 deep holes out and back.
Right away, Granny.
How do you feel, Jed?
Better than brand new. Granny, you done some doctoring in your time, but today beats all.
Took a heap out of me, Jed. Especially clipping and burying all that hair and throwing my spell. But I reckon it was worth it.
Yonder comes a living proof.
How do you feel, boys?
Fine, Doctor.
Oh, just fine.
Come back and see me anytime you need me.
Yes, we will.
Goodbye.
Bye. Bye. You did take considerable hair off them, Granny.
Had to. Their nails were so short.
Well, it's a small price to pay for good hair.
Station.